I think we're all petrified of what Mariupol is going to look like once we get a good idea of there and what's happened in the Donbas region. It's likely going to be worse, Senator. It's tough to watch.
I have exactly the same feelings you do. And I just wonder, ultimately, what we will do, the lengths we will go to stop Putin. And we are naive, General Milley said yesterday, we're naive to believe that this is all going to be wrapped up in a matter of weeks or months. I'm afraid Vladimir Putin has struck out on a course that, as long as he's in control of those Russian military forces, puts at risk not only Ukraine, which we know today, tomorrow Poland, the day after Baltics. I mean, there's no end to this man's
Is there a point where we are obligated? Do you think there's a point where we're obligated to help more than we are, more than just with sending weapons, but maybe NATO goes in and at least secures some peace?
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics.
When U.S. President Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin shook hands in Geneva last June, the Russian president had already started massing his troops on the border with eastern Ukraine. Putin's words from back then now sound like mockery. The leaders of two countries, of two main nuclear powers, are meeting to make the world safe, stable, and prosperous. A home for all the people on our planet.
You will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, and in all Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. Go into the world and preach the gospel to all creation.
Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday, codename episode, The Great Commission. With special guests, ELLE Spawn from the National Progressive Party, Jamar Jabari from Voice of Change podcast, and of course, Tommy Nation Politics co-host,
8
Stephanie
months
Smith.
later, Putin invaded Ukraine, and Biden responded with sanctions.
Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war. And now he and his country will bear the consequences.
The West wants to divide our society by speculating on military losses.
The war in Ukraine has triggered a seismic shift in politics with far-reaching international repercussions. German Economics Minister Robert Habeck, whose mission was to help Germany go green, heads to the Middle East seeking new sources of fossil fuels. A U.S. president who wanted to take care of the home front travels to Europe, looking to shore up a united front with EU and NATO allies. Can either deliver results that help stem the conflict and its effects? We're asking, Biden versus Putin, can the U.S. stop the war in Ukraine? Welcome to the Point. It is a great pleasure to greet our guests. Soraya Sahadi Nelson is talk show host at the Common Ground Berlin podcast and former correspondent for the U.S. broadcaster NPR. Michael Thumann is diplomatic correspondent at the German weekly Die Zeit. And it's a great pleasure to welcome back to the show my colleague Roman Goncharev. He is a Ukrainian by birth and works with DW's Russian language service in Bonn. And I'd like to begin, if I may, with you, Soraya. Following the Trump presidency and the disastrous U.S. exit from Afghanistan, many people doubted whether there was still any will on the part of the U.S. to lead. Is that different now? Would you say that U.S. President Biden is right when he says the U.S. is back?
Well, the U.S. may be back, or at least the will, but he certainly is not benefiting in the numbers or in the polls in terms of the support that he's getting from the American public. I mean, I think there's still a lot of doubt about whether he can manage this crisis. I mean, and that is what the Americans are saying. And the fact that he's having that kind of difficulty in the U.S. sort of begs the question, what's it going to be like in Europe over these next days as he's meeting with leaders here?
And Michelle, as diplomatic correspondent, how would you describe Biden's mission on this trip to Europe? What can he accomplish and what does he need to accomplish?
Well, I think he needs to come up with a response together with the Europeans, and that is the challenge, with a response to the ever more brutal war going on in Ukraine, and a response also to possible war crimes, to the expulsion of whole parts of big cities in Ukraine. And of course, they will have to deal also with the very latest challenges for European unity and American unity as far as gas and oil deliveries are concerned. So holding the whole club together, that will be the main challenge over the next 48 hours.
In fact, we've seen a remarkable degree of Western unity. Do you think that is now waning?
Well, I don't see it yet, because we have, of course, peculiarities like Viktor Orban, Prime Minister of Hungary, who always begs to be a bit different. But then we see finally, when it comes down to the final vote, he falls in line. And so I don't see the unity crumbling yet, but it might come further down the road.
Roman, and excuse me, I mispronounced your last name when I introduced you, but let me ask you this. Many observers have said from the beginning that this conflict is really about Russia versus the U.S. Would you say that that is right? And if so, what could Biden actually do to change Russia's calculus?
Well, I would disagree. I think it's a conflict between Russia and the West. The West as a civilization, and the West as a system, political system, and economic system. And this is how Russia has been seeing this conflict for years and years. So it's not actually new. The West refused to see it like that. The West has been looking at it as a conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which is just a battlefield. And I think, to your question, how could the U.S. Maybe stop it? I think looking back some weeks, maybe months prior to this conflict, we've seen how the U.S. administration reacted differently. They disclosed their information that they had about this plan of this war. This was new, and this allowed the US and its allies, UK and some other NATO countries, to supply Ukraine with weapons. And that was very, very important for Ukraine, because it's those weapons that Ukraine received in the couple of weeks before the war from the West that enabled Ukraine to stand firm. Without those weapons, I'm sure Russia would have seized a much bigger territory of Ukraine by now. So I think the path for the coming days and weeks is to continue in that direction.
And I want to
more weapons for Ukraine.
Exactly, and I want to pick up on that point in just a moment. It's become commonplace to say that Vladimir Putin underestimated the West, but the reverse is also true. Long is the list of political leaders who clung to the belief that Putin would act rationally and avoid dragging Russia and Ukraine into a ruinous war. And Joe Biden was amongst them.
You know, most Americans believe our political system needs changes. Upwards of about 85% of respondents in polls, about change, say they want change. 42% say that our political system needs to be completely overhauled, reformed. This sentiment holds true across party lines: Democrat, Republican, Independent, Libertarian. Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents and 83% of Republicans and Republican-leaning independents in support of change. This was from a Gallup poll, November 21st, 2021. 43% of the country wants a complete overhaul, like I said, of political change. Citizens United, political parties, usurping the reins of government from the people. They also want across party lines to cut the division in our country, the deadlock that's caused by the Democrats and Republicans. Most people don't realize that it is the Democrats and Republicans that are causing the gridlock. They instead think it's insurrectionists or whatever the narrative of the mainstream media is, that they manufacture consent to make excuses and logical fallacies for the real problems in this whole entire endeavor, guys. They're the rust on the wheel. They're the greed and the gluttony and the 7 deadly sins in Nineveh and Sodom. So like I said, guys, 87% respectively across party lines support the smallest of any change in the political system. Not to mention change in how we do tax laws, change in our justice system. Only 37% positively responded to a support of the political system as it exists now. That's an unequal level, guys. That's an income inequality. It's an inequality, it's not an income inequality. But it gives way to income inequality, guys. Meanwhile, 88% of Americans who do not approve of our pandemic responses, they support reform. A gap of only 5 percentage points, guys, to the people who, across party lines, sweepingly want political reform. If you read the charts and graphs, and if you see the popularity in the policies that these surveys are conveying to you, these views, these policies, they say political reform. They say they are generally not satisfied with what our political parties, what our government, and what their donors are endeavoring to handle in the most transparent way, guys. Nothing fundamentally changing. Nothing fundamentally changing. That is the change that the Democrats give, guys. And Americans are not confident about our politics or if it can be effectively reformed because of these parties, because of the deep corruption, which is almost as American as apple pie, guys. It all started as soon as George Washington croaked, bro. Without him to level the playing field and to speak reasonably and logically, they all fell away to their talking points and to their mass media groups, their mainstream conventional wisdom and social norms, bandwagon mentalities, guys. It's a really interesting thing, guys, how 88% of the country wants change. Sweeping change on our politics, on our justice system, on the policies and the tax laws that we...
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
Political change, guys. How's it going? Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics, guys. Free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded media. I've got guests on, but they know I do my Tucker Carlson monologue, right? Because we've got to talk the guests in here. We've got to be serious, professional people, guys, just like the media. But I do want to announce my guests. I have my lovely co-host, of course, Stephanie Smith. She's always around. I hope her mic works. David Bergeron from the Free Thinkers Who Are Willing to Meet in the Middle.
David.
And then Todd Johnson
Yo.
Father of madmans. See, I think that you're the father, David's the stranger, and I'm the warrior. That's what I feel like. But we can discuss
Dave's
that
the
in a
dude who
second.
keeps it alive.
He does, bro. He does. You keep it alive, David. I have to say that.
I've been here since day one.
But I just want to say about those polls, man. Have any of you guys ever taken any of those fucking polls?
I haven't, but I don't have a rotary phone.
But
let me just put
who the fuck are the people taking these polls?
They're older people that watch the cable news media.
So not
real
real
to
people.
talk about the cable news media, but guys, no, not real people. Basically,
so the number is completely worse than that. I'm sure it's like it got to be like 80%.
They probably
80%.
They probably got machines to answer the phones,
right? And they skew the numbers.
So we can talk about that too, guys. But I have a few things that we should really talk about, and that's, I guess we should start off with basically, the Russian-Ukraine war, because that's what everybody's talking about right now, right? So basically, did y'all see? I've been having a day, guys, because basically the Washington Examiners basically said that we're gonna do regime
Hold on,
change.
I just want to say what's up to David. David, let me hear your voice, bro.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, bro, good to hear you, man.
Yeah, you'll get to hear me more. I'll talk.
I know.
I just want to say what's up to David. First time hearing his voice.
Stephanie, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Woo! My co-host, Mike working. I love it.
Right on.
Guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics, and we're going to get to the news, but we're going to be free-thinking, innovative, and open-minded about it. There's a few topics, guys, that we really have to discuss. Basically, we've got to talk about Russia-Ukraine because some things happened that we really got to talk about. A, Russia defaulted on the debt, okay? B, the Washington Examiners openly said that a Biden ally, who it could be anybody, has said that we should have boots on the ground. So basically, what does everybody think about that? And by the way, I called this before the issue started. Boots on the ground is going to happen. What do you think?
Me, guys?
No, I don't think it'll happen.
I want my money back.
I don't think it'll happen because it would
Yeah,
lead to World War III, and Putin, after having their main flagship ship just sunk,
it looked real bad.
Already put us on notice.
Who sank it? Do you know?
Yeah, supposedly Ukraine.
Ukraine took credit for it.
Yeah, they did with a badass missile that went way out to sea and sunk their flagship.
Guess where they got that missile, guys?
Yeah, no doubt.
Got it.
But what I'm saying is Putin put them on notice saying, hey, man, enough's enough. Like, we know these dudes didn't do this. So if you guys want to go any further, it's going to be on. World War III.
I believe Ukraine got people who were trained to shoot a missile.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not supposed to have that. That type of weaponry. That's like sophisticated, top of the line to hit a ship from out there that far.
Who makes those rules, though?
At
this point, it's war.
They took our COVID money to send them.
Hey guys, one at a time though, because I want to hear what all of you have to say. So, Stephanie, you were talking about who makes the rules. Do you have? I think. Well, who's saying that only Putin is responsible for war crimes? Who is saying these things? I want to know that too. Do y'all know?
America leads the world in war crimes as far as I've been alive.
America supplies all the weapons.
Stephanie, what do you think about who makes the rules?
Russia's not that innocent, so.
No, they supply
they're
weapons
not.
too.
No, but Stephanie, and everybody. But I just want to know, why are we involved? I know Hunter Biden had an energy board seat. Other than that, what are our interests? Do they have oil underneath that place?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
What are our interests?
I think we're just trying to stake as much land as we can.
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Alaska is like 70 miles off the coast of Russia.
So, Todd, the reason I don't agree with you is that our politicians are bloodthirsty maniacs. They've got their bloodlust was opened up by Saddam Hussein. Then they killed Muammar Gaddafi, and they saw his dead body on Hillary Clinton's emails.
The reason that they did this
now, they literally think they can go into Russia.
And I believe it goes deeper because I saw a video, Tommy. And first, the reason we went into Iraq was because he threatened to sell oil with the euro, which the World Bank made a deal. If you had the World Bank in your country, That's what our dollar is based on, is that you have to buy it with American dollars. You have to sell it with American dollars. That's the deal. If the World Bank is in your country, that's the deal. And that's what holds our currency strong. And then when someone says like Gaddafi or Saddam Hussein says they're going to sell it with something else, then we call them terrorists.
What's going to happen to the Saudis?
And Russia tried to kind of like, they're hinting at that. We want to get away from the World Bank and we want to be able to buy oil and get away from the World Bank, period. And
what do you guys think about this, David?
What? Where you want me to start at? You want me to start
I want
at
you to
on
start
Ukraine, or you want me to start off where he left off?
Yeah, I know. I want you to start
Ukraine,
at
bro.
question. I want to know what all of you guys think about this. Are we
You
gonna,
and me
are we
both,
gonna have
bro.
boots? David, are we gonna have boots on the ground? Are we gonna have boots on the ground, guys?
We already
Are
got,
we gonna?
we already got eyes
I know
in the
we
sky, and
we got the CIA in there. They were in there before the military was. You
we
know they were.
already
they did the coup.
We got people. We already got people outside the box. Yeah, outside the box is a good way to put it.
We do everything outside the box. We literally took Osama bin Laden. Remember how we killed him? We fucking swam to Pakistan, got out, fucking blew up the helicopter. We do everything out of the box.
Find out later.
So, like, literally, why are we involved in this? That's my big question, guys. Is why? Nobody fucking ran into a World Trade Center. They don't have anything we want. Why? Because, guys, let me tell you why.
I know why.
We want regime change with Putin. We want to kill him. They literally want to kill him for a long time, guys. Y'all notice that?
Yeah.
But we didn't tell him to invade Ukraine.
We didn't. That was our. That
We
was a blessing.
kind of made him do that because there's been many people in that region that have said over 6 years ago, they said, if we keep going down this path and arming the nationalists in Ukraine that are staged the coup that was pro-Russian, and they won a fair election because most of the people in that country are pro-Russia. If you have a fair vote in that country, they're pro-leaning Russia. So he won the election. So we armed them, we staged a coup, and then we handpicked Zelensky, and then basically told him, you know, hey, you want NATO, right? And then that was the final straw. Because after the fall of the Soviet Union, we made the deal we would not go into Poland, we would not take Finland, we would not take any of those countries where they'd be a buffer zone between the East and the West.
We won't do that.
And we lied about every single one of those. And the final straw was Ukraine. That was their final straw. Like, come on, you're leaving us no choice. You want to, it'd be the equivalent of Russia coming over to Mexico and overthrowing the pro-American
Jesus Christ.
The pro-American leaning.
Sevi, if you have something to say, say it. I need to hear this.
Replacing
No,
it.
I'm good now. I'm listening.
Okay.
And it'd be basically the equivalent of Russia coming over and getting rid of Mexico's government, arming people that hate Americans, and then they start killing Americans in Mexico. And then they put in a pro-Russia one, and then they basically, next step was trying to get military bases in Mexico. Now, would we want to go to war with that? Hell yeah, I would say we'd have to go to war with that. I do not want Russia
Pretty
be next to us.
fantastical.
So that's basically what we did. Who gives a shit about Ukraine? That's their side of the world. We made the treaty over and over. We said we wouldn't do it. We constantly lied. And
let's talk about NATO in the first place. NATO. Why is NATO there? NATO is there to
NATO
colonize
turned Ukraine
for
down.
us.
Period.
Yes, they did. They did.
Flat down.
Zelensky said that. That's true.
Well, do you guys know America owns NATO? Because there's 3 heads of NATO.
They're the only reason that there's
Number 1 will always be America, and that was in the writing, and that vote is basically worth 90% of the vote. Number 2 will always be England, which will be worth 10% of the vote. And then number 3 is all the other countries. And that's why France left us, because they were like, hey, we want to eventually be number 2 at one time. And we said, no, it's written. America will always be number 1, and England will always be number 2. So no matter how the vote goes, if America votes, we do it. No one was with us to go into Iraq. But finally, we persuaded
Everybody
Blair,
was
so
with
that way
us.
we had the majority of the
you got
votes
Blair.
hardcore.
Then
And
the French president too, right?
they were kind of like,
The Saudis were with us because they were already there.
they were behind. They said no, 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 and then behind the scenes, eventually they got to him and said, okay, yeah.
So
But,
guys,
I mean,
so far,
why are
none
we
of you
still
have
there
convinced
if
me.
we went based on a lie?
Here's a
We
really
went
good
based on a
question.
lie and killed
Stephanie,
millions of them. Why are we
Think
still
about
here?
everything that has happened up until. Think about everything that has happened up until Putin invaded Ukraine.
Okay.
We don't hear hardly anything about any of that important stuff anymore.
Exactly.
Everything
You
is
never did.
Ukraine. All
Right.
media
It
is
is.
Ukraine.
Exactly, Stephanie. And
Which
that's the point. If
means
you
a
watch the
lot of
mainstream
the,
media,
I feel
they
like
just
it's a
say
huge distraction.
I really want to know what you both are saying. So
no, Stephanie, you're right. You're absolutely right on that.
It's a cover up of.
I mean,
Like,
I
cover up of
really
what?
am
What do
scared
we
to
want?
what's going on behind the scenes, to be honest.
Me too, because I have no idea what these guys want. All I know is that Lindsey Graham's on Fox News talking about we'll nuke him and then some, because he's he's still in the closet.
Cover up.
And then we've got like literally,
performance.
we've got the CIA just running rampant everywhere, literally everywhere. Nicolas Maduro, he's changed his personality.
How does the FBI lose the evidence?
How does one just all of a sudden not have any fucking news articles that you had before? By the way, Sean Davis, shout out to you, bro. He founded the Washington Examiner when a Biden ally, guys. A Biden ally. Who knows who he is? What's regime change? So it sounds like we're going there, and they leaked that, or they didn't. Did they leak it or not?
Oh, regime?
Hey, I
Where?
haven't seen anything about a regime change.
Yeah,
from
where?
Russia.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the article right now, guys, and we're gonna read together because this is literally funny. It's funny because it's like it's kind of like what we do. So
it can't be accurate. I mean,
so guys, we're literally addicts and we're addicted to blood and fucking addicted to murdering people. We murdered Gaddafi and murdered fucking Saddam Hussein, and it had nothing to do with him being a brutal dictator, guys. It was just because he was literally saying no to us. And fuck him. So basically, we're doing the same thing to Putin. They've wanted to kill him for the longest time because they know they're the puppets
He's
of the
not
rich.
a victim.
They're currently trying to get him
They
on
want to
war
kill him.
crimes.
Saddam Hussein wasn't a victim either, but they want to kill him. You got to realize
is
that
really
they still want to
killing
kill
people.
him. So are you arguing that,
Yeah.
Stevie, are you arguing that
He
they
got
should kill Putin?
vehicles with incinerators in the
No, I'm
back.
not gonna say. I'll never
No?
say anything like that. But
But you'll think that it'll be that way? I'm just wondering.
honestly,
we're supposed to be democracy. What
the
about that?
world would be
What
a
about
better
morals?
place without Putin. Putin has.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, he has killed so many people.
Stephanie,
And
did you know that in Iraq alone we have killed 1.5 million innocent civilians,
I
women?
didn't say that America hadn't killed a lot of people.
Okay,
I'm
so
just talking about Russia.
who would you want to
This is what
kill
we're
in our
stuck at.
knowing?
We're stuck
Okay,
at this.
I'm going to say
What
if
if we
we're
kill
doing a
Putin?
numbers game on
America.
innocent people killed, I can promise you America has blown China and Russia out the water by 100-fold.
We should
And
send
guys,
the
I
Biden
am with
administration
you.
So who would you want
What?
to kill out of our leaders to
we should send the whole
make this
Biden
right?
administration over
I
there.
have a
I
whole
want to
list.
kill
All of them.
anybody. I just want to dump them on an island somewhere and let them take care of each other.
No, they need to be killed because they're bad.
Well, I'm not going
we
to
all-
say that online.
No.
Well, the same as I wouldn't say about Putin. I wouldn't say I don't want to have them killed, but yes, they need to be replaced, and we need a
Yeah.
full changeover of world.
We need to outsource them.
Like,
We need to
And
hire
he
some
needs to be
more
punished
fresh
for
talent.
war crimes.
We're going to send them.
yes, so do we.
We should
whole
too.
Biden
Yes,
administration
definitely.
to the Middle East.
Obama and Bush both should be.
Guys, let me read a little of this article though, because this is hilarious, guys. First of all, it's a Biden ally because ever since Trump, we don't get any sources that have any tangible names or phone numbers or anything. So, now I feel like I'm feeding back, but I'm still gonna read this. Y'all hear that feedback?
No, I don't hear anything. You sound good.
Good, thank you. So Putin will only stop when we stop him. Because obviously we're the only people that can stop him because we're America. Going around to save the motherfucking day, yeah. Democratic Senator Chris Coons from President Joe Biden's home state of Delaware has been called the president's closest ally. So that's him. He's President Joe Biden's closest ally. Chris Coons, Senator Chris Coons. Coons is widely thought to speak for the president. First, and guys, we know that Joe Biden definitely wants to fucking regime change Putin. You looked into his eyes; there was no soul. Fat.
He
So
does
now
not
Coons
want
is
to
saying-
regime change Putin.
Yeah.
No one
Why do you
wants to
believe
regime
that? Why
change
do you
Putin.
No.
Who wants
Yes,
Russia? Honestly, I mean,
No, I don't think
Okay,
it's about
so-
that because
Biden
let's be
don't
honest.
care
If
about
you did
Ukraine.
get rid of Putin,
Can y'all help me?
Tommy,
Can y'all help me
if you
argue
did,
that out of that?
do you not think that there would be 100 people just like him that hate. Let's
we
be
don't
honest.
think about that. We
Who
don't
in
think
this
about that. We
world-
didn't think about
who-
ISIS.
hold on. Who in this world do you think? When we regime change smaller countries, we can bully them into putting our own people. We cannot do that to Russia because they are too big and too powerful. We
There's
cannot
no
regime
way.
change a world
I
power.
don't
We
even
can
think we
regime
would
change smaller
attempt
countries,
it.
yes. But if you
This is
kill
the reason.
Putin,
This is the reason, guys.
there's a dozen people that think like him that would
Can I
replace
just
him.
say? Can I make one point? I would like to make a point.
Thank you.
You guys are thinking like progressives, and this is why we lose, by the way. Because we think about our issues and we have a platform. You're not thinking like these psychopath, bloodthirsty neoliberals. You're not. They're arrogant. They take money from the rich. They funnel our wealth.
rulers
They don't
aren't
give a shit
like-
about us.
They're not, Tommy, they're not the people that make this decision. They're not classified as liberals or conservatives or anything at all. They're their own type of thinking, and I understand what you're thinking. Yes, that is true.
They're still gangbangers. Still gangbangers, right?
They're more like a union
Gangbangers,
together.
too.
That's like I consider their government
How
like a
did y'all know?
WWE
No, I'm just kidding.
show. They're all together because I mean, let's be honest. Like 80+% of America wants universal health care.
Yes.
And they
See,
talk
these are
about
things
it.
we need to
They
be
talk about
talking
it, but then they forget about it. And even with the Democrats saying we own the House, we own the Senate, we own the presidency. No, we're not going to talk about it. It's not possible to get on. And you're like, what the fuck? You pieces of
We're not
shit
talking
lie
about what?
constantly.
We're not talking about what? What are we not talking about? Can you explain? I missed that. What are we not
No,
talking about?
that was just a point. I don't want to talk about universal health care. But what I'm saying is like these polls happen over and over. They don't give a shit. They baffle us with bullshit. They divide us up into hating the Trump people and then the neoliberals, and then they make us hate each other and they make us vote against the people that we hate the most,
Here's
rather
right,
than the
son, but
people.
they also
I mean,
like
look at
killing
Biden. He's a fucking retard, dude. He just tried to
Yeah,
shake
they
an invisible
also
dude's
like
hand.
killing people, guys.
They're
Hey,
not
check out
wasting their time taking
Okay, don't
polls.
say retard. That's really, really and offensive.
They're not wasting their
I'm
time
sorry,
taking
I'm
polls.
sorry.
They're just printing whatever they want to print.
Thank you.
Guys,
Dementia.
guys, I'm telling you, I'm the host of the show. Can I play a clip, please?
Yeah.
Hey, so guys, I want to show you how Todd. You're also right. They do not do anything for us. They just want to get elected, but they also like killing people. I guess it's an addiction. It is. Let me prove this to you, because Chuck Todd is going to get on his knees and we're going to think about how we can become involved. Why? I still have no answer to that question. But Chuck Todd, when are we going to have? We're going to be involved.
We could easily get involved.
I think we're all petrified of what Mariupol is going to look like once we get a good idea of there and what's happened in the Donbas region. It's likely going to be worse, Senator. It's tough to watch.
I have exactly the same feelings you do. And I just wonder ultimately what we will do, the lengths we will go to stop Putin. And we are naive, General Milley said yesterday, we're naive to believe that this is all going to be wrapped up in a matter of weeks or months. I'm afraid Vladimir Putin has struck out on a course that as long as he's in control of those Russian military forces, puts at risk not only Ukraine, which we know today, tomorrow Poland, the day after Baltics. I mean, there's no end to this man's
Is there a point where we are obligated?
Nations.
Do you think there's a point where we're obligated to help more than we are, more than just with sending weapons, but maybe NATO goes in and at least secures some peace?
Listen, if the end game is that Vladimir Putin scours the earth in Ukraine and kills half the people and displaces the other half, and then he leaves and we suggest that's a victory for the West, we stood up for Ukraine, that's not an ending that I want to sign up for. We have to be ready to stop this man, because I can tell you he won't stop at Ukraine.
So, guys, let me just make my point, because they're convincing me more than you guys. I just want to let you know, their arguments are strong. This is who we are, by the way, MSNBC. We're warmongers. He says, we have to be ready to stop this man at any time. He also says, Chuck Todd posits, when is it going to be enough to get involved? So Chuck Todd, reporter on MSNBC, not military veteran, wants to go right now. When is it going to be enough? The entire mainstream media is screaming for this. Fox News, Sean Hannity's talking about how he didn't salute with a latte. And he's so much stronger than Obama. They're all speaking in their But they're all speaking their lame language, their lame ass language. I'm a musician. I think it's slow, and I don't think about that. But yeah. Basically, they're all speaking in their language, guys. They're all speaking their love language. They're mating. It's mating season, and Russia is ready for regime change. So they're convincing me that you share this rhetoric, guys. How do you just ignore this rhetoric?
Oh no, I'm with you. And what you always hear about these things is like, say, as long as I've been alive, I've never heard the other side of the story from our news medias. All you hear is Putin is crazy. He wants to take back all the countries he had, and that's it. That's it. He's Putin bad. That's all you hear. So you have to go to other sources to hear his side of the story, because if you thought about it logically, like, say, you got to think about it like, okay, I'm an alien coming to this world, and I have no stake in any game. Let me hear your side of the story. Now let me hear your side of the story, and then let me judge for myself.
But he's
Get rid of
lied
all the propaganda
over
and just
over.
the facts. Now, Russia has presented plenty of facts for their argument. Facts. America has not. They're saying he's crazy. He wants to take back all the lands that he had before. He's never said that. That's
he doesn't.
You know,
he actually tells more of the. I feel like he tells more of the truth. Like he says, this is instigated by the
He
West.
wants to unite.
And then Zelensky says it.
yes,
like,
that's what they
Zelensky
said. But
literally confirmed
he has
what Putin
never
said.
that. Now, Stephanie, I'm telling you, the fact is
It's
we've
so
lied about every deal, and they pushed so far. America has kept lying and kept lying, and we went all the way to their border, and we said we would never do that. We made deal after deal with them promising this, and we just kept lying. And for what? I still can't figure that out. Like, what's Ukraine, man? Who gives a crap about Ukraine?
Me too. Okay, Stephanie, I need. Please make your argument, please. Go ahead.
I'm good.
I need to think about this. Please don't. Why? Why are you good? You obviously disagree with that, right? What do you disagree about with that? Because I need to see the empirical data. I want to hear the logic, please. I'm trying to make a decision.
I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah, go ahead. Stephanie, you're not outnumbered. I'm about to go to David, and he's a right winger. So you're about to hear. You're about to hear. It's all the immigrants' fault. David, is it the Mexicans? David, is it the Mexicans or the rapists?
Yeah. Go on to David.
Is it Antifa? Is it
David,
Antifa?
I really want to hear your opinion on this. Like,
yes, I do. David, is it Antifa?
One sec.
Is it Black Lives Matter?
No,
David,
y'all continue.
I just honestly don't believe that they're going for a regime change for Russia.
I don't believe that either.
Russia is
even though they told you that.
I really don't believe that. I think they know that that's not possible. I'm with Stephanie on that.
They don't care. They don't have it. They're arrogant as fuck. They're
that
more
doesn't
arrogant
seem
than possibly
feasible. Like, I'm with Stephanie, man. I don't think that would do it. You can't.
So you guys are both saying that. You guys are both saying that. I need a reason. Okay. Just for
for one, like I told you. Now to do. Okay. Suppose we take out Putin, right?
Yes.
Can we go in with our army and run that country and say, hey, you're going to put in him, him, and him, and they're all pro-Western politicians? Do you think that would be a possibility? Like that would happen?
We're not ready for the coup. We don't. Putin was more prepared for us.
We
We don't have anybody to
be ready
install.
against Russia. Russia is a badass. I mean, they
have money.
They stopped Napoleon. They stopped Hitler.
We have money for Ukrainians. $800 billion.
Don't underestimate.
That's another
Russia.
thing that I'm despising, though, the fact that we can send so much money over somewhere else, but can't invest that money here.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Joe Biden literally said we got to put it all on the table with Medicare for all. Do you remember, guys? Progressive Stephanie, Todd. Do y'all remember when but Joe Biden attacked Bernie Sanders in the primaries about Medicare for all? Mm-hmm. It's not going to be it's not $30 billion. Give me a break, fat. Now this guy's literally spending all that money on Ukraine.
Yes.
And he said he was going to veto Medicare for all. That dude is a fucking douchebag. I swear to God. He's literally, he's not, what's his deal?
Talk now.
Yes, please, David. David, please.
All right,
what's the deal?
What's the deal?
How is this guy going to literally say he's going to veto Medicare for all, not give us health care during a pandemic? Then he turns around and takes that money and gives it to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Slap in our face, bro, every single time they vote.
I sat there and watched the news interview where Pelosi was saying, like, people are dying in Ukraine, and the guy in the audience said, well, people are dying here of COVID because they was given
Exactly.
She didn't know.
because they was giving our money away to Ukraine for weapons.
They guys
Instead
and
of
others.
You
And
want to know the reason why they're stopping the talk on COVID right now?
Why?
Because
I
they not
okay, the
They
insurance
don't know
company
shit
came out.
about
I
it.
posted it on our thing. No, because
the results suck.
the insurance company posted something because they're pissed, not because they care.
Yeah.
Deaths are up.
Yeah,
Unexplainable deaths are up 40% in 2001 between the ages of 18 and 61.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about like ones that doctors can't explain. And the
Everybody
insurance
knows
company is
somebody
pissed at the
died.
pharmaceutical company saying, hey, we have to pay out all these people. We need to bail out because this ain't right. We're losing some
What
money.
was supposed to happen under Obamacare?
So all the doctors are getting together saying, dude, we're tired of telling these people we can't explain it. It's because you've had COVID or whatever. So the papers on the trials that they had, Operation Warp Speed.
Did COVID exist in
Hold on,
2001?
Stephanie. Yeah, that's when the vaccines came out and they were forcing them to everybody. But anyways,
2001?
no, I'm sorry, 21. I apologize, Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
21. Yeah. So they had to come out now and release the data on the studies. They weren't supposed to do it for 52 years, but all the doctors' associations and everything made them release these trials and papers.
David, you think that's why they did that, or they just really wanted to fucking go back to war because that's all they know? What do you think?
I think they released a chemical weapon on us to turn us into a socialist society.
Hey, but how come Trump buffered the stock market with government money? That was socialism.
They all made us government.
That was socialism.
They knocked
Trump
us
did
down
socialism, David. Did you know that?
Yeah, that was a form of socialism, David.
He literally took the.
Yeah, we need to get rid of
government gives the
Medicare
stock market money
right away.
Yeah. So how come Wall Street gets all the socialism?
We need to get rid of Medicare right away.
What? Why, Stephanie?
Yeah, please tell me.
Socialism is bad, and Medicare is socialism.
No.
Get away from,
Well, I'm
also,
actually a
no more
socialist.
libraries.
Well, what
No
is
more libraries. No more
what is
libraries.
Medicare?
What is Medicare?
I'm gonna let you guys in on something.
Like
Our
It's a
government,
socialist program.
nah,
the point
Medicaid,
of our government
Medicaid is a
is
socialist
to
program.
help the people.
No.
Somehow,
Pay for Medicare.
America has gotten lost into getting it backwards. We're here to
Social
help
Security.
the government.
We all know the reasons why they are backwards. But
Public libraries. Public transit.
okay, so guys, we're supposed to work for the common good. We're devolving into a partisan.
Stephanie, I'm with you on those ideas because I'm a socialist like 90+%. For sure. Social programs will need more.
Let me say something, Stevie. Stevie, you got to resist David. He's also a troll, so he just says shit like that.
Yeah, we love David.
He literally wants you to just say public libraries. That's all he
We
wants.
already have universal health care. It's called Medicaid.
He knows all this shit.
If you can't afford health care, it's provided for you.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
You don't have a job.
That's not true, David.
Provided for you.
David, that's not true.
Guys, who cares? We're never gonna get Medicare for all anyway. So like, why? What's the
Our life expectancy in this country is compared to some third world countries. We have like one of the lowest life expectancies in all the first world countries. This is factual. It's factual.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody has free health care, then I mean you got to explain these numbers. Numbers are facts. And America is we just don't care. It's survival of the fittest, and trickle down economics is the worst thing to ever happen.
I go to the hospital.
David didn't say anything about trickle down economics.
I
guys.
go to
That's
like
fair.
University
No.
Medical
Where'd that come from?
Center.
That's basically the way of saying like welfare queens and social programs are killing America and destroying us and all that, and it kind of like
we have a University Medical Center in New Orleans.
So Ukraine.
There. Yeah.
Okay, Ukraine. Okay, let me put it this way: if we put boots on the ground, is Ukraine worth ending the world?
No,
because that's what's going to happen. Exactly. Common sense. That's a no. Now, if Russia was coming over to Mexico and doing what we did over there, like trying to invade over there, put it with their politicians here, and then point nukes at us, I would say we have to go to war over there because we can't have Russia on our borders. But since it's the opposite, I'm going to say I don't give a shit about Ukraine.
and we've honestly fucked that one off ourselves. We're not like coming into this saying, "Oh, what happened? Putin bad. He's crazy." I'm going to tell you right now, Putin's smarter than every president we've had. I probably put him even smarter than Obama. And in my lifetime, I'm 41.
Yes, he's
Obama was
smart.
probably like our smartest president in.
Okay, he's really, really smart. He's also a murderer, a mass murderer.
Okay, what leader
Anyway,
is not a
guys,
murderer exactly?
Guys, I gotta take my show back.
Not a murderer exactly?
I gotta take my show back, guys. Okay, I do, because we're devolving into partisan talking. We're supposed to be talking about solutions and the news. Okay, David started this. I blame the right wing, but we got to move on.
It wasn't me.
Okay, so guys, basically, but basically, David insurrected, and we have to move on. So basically, guys, we have another enemy besides Putin. We have Jeff Bezos. Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos is he's sad today, guys.
Amazon
Why is
guy?
he sad? He's his shareholder. He had to explain to his
Because
shareholders.
Elon Musk is getting all the attention.
No, it's because there's a union in Amazon. Charlie Smalls created and he's basically had votes. He's had votes every single time. Guys, Jeffrey Bezos just responded to the union, and I want you guys to watch this, watch his words and all that shit, because it's very interesting.
In my final letter to shareholders as Amazon CEO, before I step down from my most awesome and magnificent role, I will spend time.
And now, Story Time by Tommy Nation Politics.
Everybody is watching what you do at the Washington Post. Yes. You bought the newspaper out of your personal fund.
And now, everyone, a word from your Amazon chair and leadership principal manager, Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos. All hail, Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos.
Why would I even be a logical liar? Because the newspaper business is being so disrupted.
Amazon share.
Eventually, we can't having multiple conversations going.
The most powerful and technologically advanced company in the world. Hello, mundane earth creatures. Amazon of the poverty-stricken lands. My name is Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos, and I once again grace your presence with my billions and billions of dollars. As I traveled into space and looked upon the earth as it was just a tiny spot, I thought of the leadership principles and of my employees. Yes, it is true. The thoughts of Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos fell upon your insignificant lives, and for 1 second, I felt a sense, must admit, I felt some feeling that I'd never felt before. For 1 second,
And now,
a feeling of longing,
Story Time
longing to teach more,
by
more
Tommy Nation
to my
Politics.
more leadership principles, to my small, insignificant but adorable minion, tiny workers. You all seem so fragile, so poor. I compare this strange and sudden feeling to one that has lost a pet, perhaps a tiny puppy or goldfish. In either case, my leadership principles are not completed as time moves forward, and my technologically advanced mind wraps itself around the notion that I will not be able to teach my beloved leadership principles, for I have made an insanely amazing, completely original move to step down from the company, for I have made a unique and innovative, completely original decision to step down from my beloved company in which I tripled my wealth last year in the COVID pandemic, and sinisterly read it from the shadows. You primitive earth dwellers convey such a feeling as cold feet. I might have sort of last-second thoughts and doubts about leaving my company in the hands of weak feeling does not come from actually caring about human beings, for that is too primitive for such a technologically advanced mind to be considerate. But nevertheless, I grow weary of that old, smelly Bernie Sanders standing outside my door and yelling such obscenities and such tragic examples of nonsense. It rages me to no end to be standing outside of my billion-dollar yacht or my mansion, and to look up and to see overhead Bernie Sanders yelling such obscenities as "How dare you disturb the presence of an enlightened and ascended life form such as Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos. Bernie Sanders, don't you know my leadership principles are a living wage? How dare this Bernie Sanders look upon the face of Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos and not quiver with fear and an admiration? He has unleashed an infection upon my wonderful and glorious company Amazon, an infection of unions. How dare you? I have words for unions, and my word is lame. In my final letter to shareholders as Amazon CEO, before I step down from my most awesome and magnificent role, I will spend time, although my time is precious, and this in and of itself is an overwhelmingly pathetic waste of it. Nevertheless, with my magnanimous generosity, I will indeed spend time addressing the critics, both directly and indirectly. Does your chair, your CEO, take comfort in the outcome of the previous union vote in Bessemer? No, he does not. He most certainly does not. The mind of the incredible Jeffrey Jefferson Bezos surmises that we should do a better job for our employees. We must utilize our superior intellect and our direct relationship with our employees to make sure that their vision for success is of the leadership principles. The leadership principles will carve a vision for their success more great than they could possibly even fathom. The leadership principles are put in place for that reason. I cannot waste hours or even minutes of my technologically insightful and innovative time discussing wages or workplace safety or climate change action. The leadership principles will take care of this.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Last words. Be responsible.
Tommy Nation Politics. So basically, guys, that was supposed to be a break where we all... None of you guys liked my video, I guess. What do you think about Jeff Bezos, guys? What do you think? Have y'all heard the news about the union?
He's a dick.
I mean, literally, he is.
He even looks like one.
Looks like a chicken. David, what'd you say?
I mean, I wouldn't mind having some Bezos money.
Okay, well, we're not talking about his money.
Just walk away.
You guys always do this.
So
you don't answer my questions.
So he's just gonna duck off and walk away into the sunset with like Bezos money.
I just want to know why they voted against
said,
forming a union. That boggles my mind. Why they decided not to form a union.
He's gonna be on a $1 billion yacht. Peace out.
Yeah, we're talking about the union, though. That when they.
So yes, basically, they did this thing where they made like Todd, are you there?
He said it's not his problem. He's out.
I mean, he did say that he's stepping down, but he's not going to step down. It's his puppet. It's his puppet because him and Mark Zuckerberg are getting sued.
He's in the middle of competing with Elon Musk for the fucking limelight, like those cocksuckers do.
He's leaving.
Those two are right now.
I don't care about them.
Yeah, I think you're right. These two are competing because Jeff Bezos thought he was going to be the next trillionaire. Elon Musk was declared the next trillionaire, even though he doesn't even have it yet. They're just like, oh, SpaceX did it. Meanwhile, he has a government contract with our government.
What about Twitter? I'd rather talk more about Elon Musk and Twitter. You guys think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't do Twitter. Too much shit to sift through.
I know,
There
right?
is too much shit to sit through. And plus, Twitter is angry all the time. It doesn't really give you anything. Like Facebook is one thing. You can meet people that like Todd and David that have like good conversations, but Twitter is just like you should kill yourself, please. They have the gifts and all that
Right.
shit.
So they
It's
don't
made
want us
it's
getting
made for
electric
fucking
cars no
sarcasm.
more. They're
So I
like,
don't understand why they even banned
Wait, hold on.
Trump.
What David say? What did you say, David?
they don't want us getting electric cars no more now.
I mean, they still have government contracts with Tesla, so they should.
First,
Otherwise,
I'd
they're
like to
bad
say this
investors.
about Elon Musk. He's
Tesla's
not the
good,
genius.
Twitter's
People,
bad.
he did not invent that battery for the
Tesla
electric car.
good,
He
Twitter
did not
bad.
create these rockets. He's just like what's his name? That other Steve Jobs douchebag.
I know.
He finds someone that knows how to do something. Then he finds another one. Then he tells them, "Make this fucking work. Make this work." And then when it all comes together, he's like, "Now I will take credit for this."
I get
So
it.
just to aim back the conversation,
Yeah,
though, whether he's a genius or not is not in question. The question is, was it right? Right. The question was it right that he bought shares of Twitter? And now it seems like they're doing a hostile outski. I think all of these things are very unethical. First of all, the pill where you can dilute your own stocks. How is that fucking illegal?
Right.
And then buy all
That
those
is
shares
wrong.
of. Why aren't there any laws in place still?
'Cause-
Even after Wall Street did this shit. Have you all asked yourself that question?
If I was a shareholder, I care about like buying low and selling high, and I don't give a shit about the personal things. Why are they having
But the thing is, like, David, you got to understand that 16% of the stocks are owned by 99% of the people, and the 1% own the rest of it. So if they all are together with their hedge fund managers and all this other stuff and have that inside knowledge, me and you might say, "Hey, this sounds good. I'm about to put in," and then all of a sudden they know it's about to leave, so they pull out all their money, and then boom, they basically take our shit. And that's what's
Bill
not right.
Gates
It's
did.
not on the
Bill
even
Gates did
playing
that.
field.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bill Gates put all his money into Bitcoin. Then he released it after his divorce, and it caused Bitcoin to tank. And like literally, people lost money on that. So these people have influence like that. That's why, David, we think about the money and the personal things, because these people have personalities, and it dictates their decisions. My question is, I don't understand why the poison pill could be ethical, and I don't understand why Elon Musk wants to even own Twitter. Why do you think that is? What is Twitter to him?
That is really weird.
Right? He's not a fucking. He's an introvert. Guys, Elon Musk is an introvert. Y'all know that, right?
And he's not a 16-year-old
He bought a
girl.
social media platform.
And he's been to Epstein's Island
As a
too.
leftist,
So
I got that right off the bat. Elon Musk looks just like fucking Rain Man. He literally is an introvert, and so basically, he bought a social media platform, guys. So his personality is definitely acting in this situation.
I like how everybody threw a temper tantrum.
well, I don't know if it's a good thing because I'm tired of all this censorship.
And so you think that's why he bought it? Think that's why he bought it?
I hope so. I hope
just wanted
so
to fucking
because
do that.
I mean, everybody should have a right to say whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
I disagree.
Why? Because if you take away one, then they come like the liberals right now are saying, okay, you can't say this, this, and this, and it sounds all good and everything. But when the other side comes for them and starts taking their way, then it's too late.
Hey, Todd, if you're not a liberal, what are you?
I'm a socialist.
A socialist. Okay. Gotcha.
A Bernie Sanders type socialist. Democratic socialist.
So
I just call myself a
FDR
progressive.
socialist.
Yes, FDR was my favorite
70.
president ever. I believe he
What
was
would
the
you label-
greatest president ever. In my opinion.
David and Stephanie, what would you label yourselves as?
Socialist.
You're a
Oh, all
socialist
right.
as well? Not a liberal, Stephanie?
No, socialist.
Yeah, I agree. Don't want to be liberal right now. They're fucking weird.
Yeah.
David, what would you fucking label yourself as?
Today I'm gonna be with Ninja Turtle. I identify as Ninja Turtle.
All right, we like Ninja Turtle.
Michelangelo.
I would literally rather do that than identify with Republicans and Democrats. So yeah.
Yeah.
But so guys, like literally, what was the question? I smoked some weed. Now I forgot my question. Thanks a lot.
Oh yeah.
What were we talking about, guys?
You were saying like you don't like freedom of speech.
Oh yeah, basically. Okay, so you guys
Censorship.
are. David, do you agree with that? you kind of do agree with that, but then you let me in the group like boot and mute people because I think you deep down you guys know that even though everybody should say whatever the fuck they want, when people say horrible things just to get down your psyche, just to literally, they don't even mean it. They just literally want to harass you. You know that that's wrong and you shouldn't do that.
I think you should be creative with your
That's
insults.
right.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I told Tom, you got to play with them, man. You can't take it
I don't want to. I'm
too
tired of them.
seriously. As
They're
long as they're
annoying.
not getting racist and not doing crazy shit like that, you got to let it go, man. You got to just let it go.
I treat someone
I'll let you talk, but
the
I need to
way
make my
they
argument
treat
on
me.
this. And I need
Exactly.
to convince you guys.
Mirror
because,
effect, as I
listen,
call it.
guys. Okay, so I want us all to talk at once because I really want to talk about this issue. This is why I hoped you would be on, David, because I want to talk about this issue, guys. So there's people that are not good people in this world, and all they want to do is suck off the misery or whatever emotions of other people because they're called sociopaths. They're on Facebook too, and letting them literally say whatever they want, it's really just feeds them, and that's why they stay. That's why they stay for so long, Todd, till I boot them. So I realize what they're doing and how it's a waste of time, and these people are a waste of time. We have issues to solve. They're standing in the way of those issues. They are literally trash, and we need to move the trash. We need to put the trash in the garbage compactor because we don't have time, guys. Tick, tick, tick. So basically, that's what I'm saying. Is the time for everybody, all the idiots, to say whatever they want? They can say whatever they want in the fucking what do they call the junkyard? Not anywhere near me, because I don't have time, guys. We got to fucking work together immediately. We're literally being fucking extracted.
But
They're
that's
literally
not what.
all over the country.
Like 90% of online is for talking trash and letting out your anger.
They know that we won't even fucking do a thing because we haven't. We have to do something.
Yeah.
We have to.
They come to a blog.
It seems like everybody's starting to, lose hope and not wanting to try.
I know.
For sure.
You're right. So they become William J's and they just fucking.
For sure. Because we're meant to be pitted against each other.
But not
you.
me. I'll be here to the very fucking end.
I'll be here just to make it miserable.
Is Stephanie in our group?
No, are you?
What group?
Guys, I want to talk about our group because we are free thinkers who want to meet in the middle. We want to transcend the political BS, guys. I just want to let y'all know. And I hope this is okay, Todd. I'm promoting the group here. If you ever see on Facebook, guys, I'm sending you the thing. Basically, we got to get people to want to work together for the common good. We have the Democrats and Republicans, guys, who literally have funneled the wealth to the 1% together. They vote, they cross over together. They blame it on Kristen Sinema. And meanwhile, Joe Biden really doesn't even remember that he has a Build Back Better agenda. Remember, Joe? Joe, that thing you ran on with all the signs, that thing's still set. He doesn't know. He doesn't remember, guys. So, guys, we need to work together for the common good because the media is not going to help us. They're not going to fucking tell us the truth. We have to figure it out. And I just want to let you guys know that you want to talk about parties and right and left. The Constitution makes us responsible. Read it, guys. It says that we're responsible for the promoting the general welfare. So even if all the politicians burn us all to hell, do you know what the Constitution says? It's our fault. That's what it says. It's our fault. We're responsible.
True.
We're the inheritance. So if we don't fucking do that, then who cares about healthcare? We'll all be fucking nuked. Especially if Lindsey Graham was anywhere near the White House.
If you don't talk with our people, Tommy, you can't boot or kick. You must engage. Be wittier or ignore.
So yeah, I want to be motivated to do that. So give me a good reason, because they're fucking trash.
Because it makes us look more like the bad guy or anything.
I don't give a shit how I look. They vote for Democrats and Republicans. How I look to them is irrelevant.
It's the other people that see it. You're letting them.
Who are we talking about, Tommy?
Win.
Huh?
Who are we talking about here?
I'm talking about the people that continuously are still
be like
vote for the
David
Democrats and Republicans
and just post stuff and fall back.
What, Tommy?
So, I'm talking about the people who are going to continuously in these midterms. We're going to vote for. Are we going to vote for Democrats and Republicans, guys? Even though we know what they're going to do.
Well, Bernie Sanders is gone, so I'm not really voting.
I'm not going to lie. Probably. I'm honest.
Thanks for being honest with me, because I need. Why? Why?
probably
Why
gonna
Stephanie?
win. I mean,
Because
honestly.
in the South,
He's not going to run the midterms.
in
Bro.
the South, women's
Oh, I mean-
rights are really being stomped on. Yeah, I mean,
Well-
you're in Texas, Tommy. You know this.
Yeah.
Where are you
The
from, Stephanie?
Arkansas.
We're neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with Planned
So-
Parenthood, with all that stuff. It's just, yeah, it's bad, and we need more. I hate to say it, more Democrats, because
Why? What are they going to do?
we're such a red state that we need more pro choice.
So you think they're really pro-choice and not just puppets of the rich? Again, they
I
don't
don't
have
know.
that
I
ideology.
think to be a Democrat, you have to kind of say you are.
Yes, exactly. So you would trust them just
No,
lying to you.
probably not.
So why would you vote for them then?
Why
You guys
wouldn't
are not
you vote,
convincing me
though?
of anything. Because they're lying and they're not serious. They're
Yeah.
saying it.
More
So
than
why would you
likely,
vote
I
for
would
them?
vote rank. I would vote down ballot most of the time.
Just rank Democrat?
No, down ballot. I would vote down ballot.
Maybe I don't know what that is. What's down ballot?
Just straight Democrat?
Maybe I think I don't know what
No,
that thing is.
it would be like independent, or something like that. But it'd
Did I just
be
convince you not to vote for Democrat? That's awesome.
right. It'd be lower. Probably someone who probably won't win, but I'm not
So,
voting
I
at
know,
least for
but-
the lesser evil.
Yes, exactly. So, guys, like we already know our candidates won't win because they're gangbangers and they're in power. But what if we kept our principles and our morals? Like, wouldn't we feel better though?
Someone like Nina Turner, you mean? And that's
I
why she didn't win because
Exactly.
Bigelow and all them voted against her?
Yeah, who cares
Went
what
against her?
Pramila Jayapal said? Pramila Jayapal fucked everything over in the fucking Congress
God,
when she just
no.
let that fucking you're not gonna veto bill. She let Nancy Pelosi just do a 180. She let it all happen. Oh yeah, he's gonna buy. She said
Her
she said
naivety,
what's it, gonna vote for it.
nativity.
Oh yeah, he gave me a wig. He said he was gonna vote. Mr. Manchin said he was gonna vote for it. He shook my hand. What do you think now, Pramila? You look like a fucking idiot.
Her naivety.
If anybody was paying attention to Congress, they would literally laugh. Because I laugh every day. These guys are
It's
idiots.
terrible.
That's why I think they're lying.
And
There's
then-
so much idiots. I could do a better job. Just trying. They're not even trying.
The two heads of the Democratic Party can't even talk. They can't even talk anymore. Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden can't even give a
I don't know. That's
speech
why they have
anymore
the Young
without
Turks
sounding
out
like
there
crazy
just
people.
fucking smearing everybody. Young Turks is literally paid by the DNC. I know they are because there's proof that they're just there to be hatchet men now. They've changed their show completely, and it's very interesting how they've gotten even they're even seeping into independent media now. They're just like, hey, we're just gonna hire you to be on YouTube and smear people.
Stephanie, where do you get your news from?
Independent media, like Indie Left.
Indie Left.
Indie Left, yeah.
Media. Yeah, I'm actually a member of Cheer for Them.
Oh
Indie
yeah, I saw your
Left.
speech on that thing. That dude is so informative and smart. Like how what America did over there in Ukraine? Is it that you don't believe it or you don't?
I didn't say that America didn't do that at all.
No, but I mean-
I'm just saying
Okay, let's
that
say a
right
judge.
now, Putin is the bad guy right now. Right
He's
now.
the only one.
In
It's
this
like saying
instant,
like
he's the
putting
bad
a
guy.
cat in a corner, and his hair standing up and everything, and you see him, and you keep going towards him and keep going towards cause and effect. What's gonna happen?
So, guys, I can't let David get away with not saying who he's going to vote for in the midterms. I really can't let that happen. David, who are you going to vote for in the midterms? Are you going to vote Republican?
Ain't no Dave's going Republican.
I don't know. I'm asking him because I don't know. I don't assume anything.
Oh yeah, man. I'm riding the red wave. Sign me.
Yeah, and they're gonna
So you're
win
a Republican?
the midterms.
It's not just I got every. There's other things to vote for too.
Like what? For Republicans? What?
Whatever else is on the ballot. There's other.
Oh, you mean like those
David, I want to know what's your main
props?
issue. If you could have anything, what is your what's your policy? What policy would you want on something? Like screw Democrat, screw Republican. What policy would you want to implement?
Legalize weed.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
we're all with
given.
you.
Around
Is it funny how they
everywhere.
never do that because they're liars? So why would you vote for
everywhere.
Republican then? Because like you are you saying that you would just go to vote because you would vote for like the props and stuff in your local area? But you're still gonna vote for Republicans? So why would you do that? I just want to understand. I don't want to make fun of you. I really just want to know why. Like, why would you still do that? What do you want from them?
Because that would be change where I'm from.
I see. So it's
Gotcha.
your fucking community. See, that's why Stephanie wants to vote for Democrats. I think I
Yeah.
feel that too.
Where are you
I'm in
from,
Texas,
David?
and literally,
New Orleans.
I don't give a shit. I lose either way.
I have a Democratic mayor and a Democratic governor of Louisiana. You know,
If I was in New York,
New
Orleans, I'd want to vote for.
We're so red here. It is like
exactly.
blood red.
Y'all want to vote for the parties for the same reasons. You guys got to resist your lizard brain, okay? Fuck them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they're liars and they're liars and they're liars. Like the Democrats own the House, they own the Senate, they own the presidency. They make all these promises and don't do any of them.
Yeah,
it happened with Obama.
Honestly,
it happened here, and then you're kind of just like, "Are you serious?"
Biden could sign into law cannabis is
it's just so
legalized without Congress. He could sign that into law. He could cancel all student debt without the approval of Congress.
But
he
the
could do
billionaires and
these
millionaires
things,
will be pissed.
but he won't.
You guys know this. We're smart people, and we know all these things, guys. We've got to resist our lizard brain. That's the only thing keeping us voting for these guys.
You got to think. You remember those bills that
I thought about voting for
who writes the bills, who signs the bills and passes them.
Yeah,
Congress doesn't write those bills. The only one who might have somewhat wrote a bill was Bernie Sanders through the health care plan.
Well, Joe
and
Biden
maybe
wrote
a handful
the
of others here and there. But other than that, who writes all these big fucking bills? They don't even read them in Congress.
Actually,
They have a team.
who was it? Mitt Romney, I think, started the Affordable Care Act. He started off
in
with
Boston.
that one.
He did. It was
Yep.
Romney Care.
Yeah.
That's so funny, bro.
But his
And
is
he
better
literally
than
probably
what we
wrote
have
it. 'Cause
here.
you know how Mitt Romney doesn't drink or he doesn't smoke. He doesn't.
Yeah, he's a Mormon.
He literally just probably like did a sweater and fucking wrote a bill.
Or date a girl that's 18 or younger.
Hey, you want to be my second wife? You want to be my seventh wife?
Dude, my dad was Mormon. He was 36 and my mom was 17.
Right? I mean, 17 is legal in Texas, and I'm not gonna say that.
Crazy.
I just agree with Kid said. That's all I have to say. But basically, guys, I'm just gonna say that I forgot what I was gonna say because I was thinking about college. But anyway, David, so you're still gonna give me a reason, David. I need to understand your how you work, bro. You're my friend. So you just were gonna vote for Republicans. So, and I feel this. You have anger because all of your douchebag fucking friends are so dumb, and they're talking about roads and bridges all over the place. You're like, fuck you guys. He's fucking causing inflation. You're telling them the truth, and they're literally just like, no, bro. So I don't understand how you want to
And
be
they
like, fuck
believe
you.
they're telling you the
I'll
truth.
vote for Republicans. But let me tell you what's gonna happen if you vote for Republicans. Lindsey Graham wants to nuke people. He literally does. And all of these fucking guys are psychos in their own way.
They want
just have
to
they have a different set of
drill
billionaires.
Florida.
They have a different set of billionaires. They have Adelson and all them. They're all owned by billionaires, but there's a different set of billionaires. And these billionaires want to just kill people. You know they do because they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about their families.
They want to drill Florida
Family
bad,
values.
very badly. They're
No
talking
abortions.
about already doing it.
We could poison you guys with lead pipes. It's fine. That's fine.
The other
Once you're alive, it's
option,
fair game.
The other option is to leave things the way they are.
I mean, let's not do
Currently.
that. Let's literally get together, guys, and
And
let's storm
progress.
Washington. Let's talk about Washington. Let's talk about how we need to protest Congress. How about that? I know nobody's been talking about this. I'm gonna be free thinking, and I'm gonna try to sell this to you guys because I'm gonna try to sell it to other people.
Shoot.
How about this, guys? How about they failed in their oaths to keep us from harm, foreign and domestic. They failed in every single thing we asked them. The Democrats failed. George W. Bush failed. They need to be recalled, all of them, every incumbent. And is there a way that we could sign we could do some kind of a petition where that could happen?
No.
A constitutional amendment?
But
We could just recall Congress and vote them all every incumbent.
Like I tell you, there's no way. the only way to change anything, I know you guys, it's going to be a shock factor, but it's violence. It's violence
The
is the only
Constitution gives us
way
two ways. Constitutional amendment.
to change
Two.
anything throughout
No,
history.
violence isn't always the answer.
Okay, so name me a time in history where something dramatically changed without violence.
The civil rights movement.
There was lots of violence. There was riots, cities burned down.
It was caused by the aggressors, and that's why they lost.
My brain's a little foggy. So
No, I'll give you time. I thought about it. I came to this conclusion. It took me a while. Like
I
nothing.
just told
Like the
you.
hippies and
The
all
aggressors
the
lost.
Million Man protests and all that. You know what they did? They killed Martin Luther King. They killed Malcolm X. They killed all those people. And they said, okay,
how did
is what
we
they say.
get from
They say,
Ukraine to
we'll hear
America?
you.
Oh, I'm just talking about news articles. And
They say, we hear you, we hear you, we hear you. Then they wait till you're done. And then they go back to doing their thing. That's what they do. Until you do violence to overchange something and stay on it, then nothing will change. Because they'll come out and they'll say, we hear you, we hear you. Okay, we're going to do this. Oh, how about this? And they'll come out and do all this stuff, but nothing ever changes. Nothing ever.
Did it change during the insurrection, though? Even though those guys were breaking windows and stuff? It didn't change then either.
You know, squishing cops in doors, in between doors, and bashing their heads down the
I respect them for that because they were passionate about what they believed in. You know?
I would literally have been with you on any other fucking person besides cops. You said cops. I was like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I respect what they did on that insurrection because they fought for their belief.
They fought for their belief for
let's
one
be honest
man.
with what happened. Who got punished for that? One person died, and it was one of them. And how many of them went to prison? So
No,
they paid
actually,
for it.
2 people in it died. 5 people actually died.
Yeah, so those numbers and all that, but that's nothing. That's
still people, and that's still an attack on our capital. That hasn't
yeah,
happened.
but I think we all agree our capital needs to be freaking
1812.
attacked and shooken up. They need to have the fear of God put in them from us. And if it's the right wing that does it, it's cool. I'd rather it be the left wing that does it. But right now, they're all on the government's dick right now, and I don't understand that.
So founding fathers, yeah. That is a good question to ask. I do want to know that too. Like our founding fathers, literally, you know what they did, right? To the T, to the fucking British people that were staying in their houses, like they were not nonviolent. Let's just put it that way. They started it.
But is what I'm saying is nothing will ever change. We'll never get what we want.
David, you're really quiet right now, and I really want you to be.
Yeah, David, come on, bro.
You're gonna because you know why I want that? Because David, you're literally gonna be in power soon. So I want to know what your mentality is because what are these guys gonna do? Like,
really?
What are they gonna continue? Are they gonna fucking? Because Lindsey Graham, he wants to escalate.
Oh goodness.
So literally, what are the Republicans gonna do to us after the Democrats are done with us?
I don't think Trump will.
I see a 24.
I don't care about Trump. I want to know the Republican Party. What are they going to add on top of the Democratic Party?
Usually are based on presidents now. That power.
Right. Wow. I mean, wars are based on presidents. I mean,
yeah, George Bush took that
we have a
power.
Policy of regime change war. That's our policy, and it's run by
the
the
Iraq
CIA.
War and the Freedom Act and everything changed everything. Now,
David, what do you think about that?
Yes.
What's the question?
Okay, Stephanie asked a question because maybe I'm asking you too much of a hard question, but I want to know what are the Republicans going to do to us once their Democrats are done with us?
Yeah, they haven't introduced any policies. It seems like they both go back and forth and say the Democrats say,
I want to know, David.
we're going to change the
I want to hear David talk.
God, let David talk.
Extremist though. I thought y'all was asking me something about the insurrection. But y'all want to know what Republicans are going to do after they take over the House?
Yes.
And
yes. What do you think?
I think they're going to do investigations.
I think so too.
Oh God, I hope. I'm sick. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to start like I tell the liberals. The liberals.
They already said they were.
The liberals. Trump will never be freaking impeached. Trump will never.
What?
all of
go to
this
jail.
All of it, bro.
Hillary will never go to jail,
and
even though she deserves to be in prison
I
10
can't
times
hear
over.
David at all.
Yeah. Go ahead. One at a
all
time.
of the stuff that's been coming out over the past 3 years, all the hoaxes and things and everything that they said, someone's been right about the whole time. And
We need details, David. Give us details.
I think fake news is going to be put out on blast.
Can you give
Like-
us an example?
Fake
so
news
far?
goes 24/7, man.
Like for example, all the people that are getting fired over the past year
Uh-huh.
are gonna be like brought into
investigated
and brought into what do they call it when they do court and
When
Oh,
when
guys,
did you hear this? Where did you see this at?
Well,
In
Josh
my- in
Hawley
my
did say
head.
that. He said, "Well, guys, the reason that's very logical is because these guys.
in my
You remember
head
Benghazi? Remember Benghazi?
Okay.
That's all these guys do. They'll
all
go.
these
January 6th commission. Democrats did January 6th commission. They're gonna do some kind of fucking you cheated on the election commission. Then they're gonna go ahead and do the other commission. They always do
Yep.
this, guys. They are
That's
gonna
right.
investigate
It's a
the
dog and
Democrats.
pony show.
The Democrats have been
They're
investigating them the whole time, guys.
gonna want to investigate
Maybe that was
why
actually the most logical thing they would do.
they're gonna want to know why the
They do this.
FBI can't hold on to evidence.
Oh, they're not gonna like that answer.
David,
They want to know
I'm,
shit like
I'm
that.
with you 100%. Biden and his son and the Clintons need to be in prison.
Oh, goodness
They
gracious.
need to be in prison. But on the flip side, so does Trump. Trump, Bush, all them. I would love to throw every single one of them, and I could give you multiple reasons. Just pick a person, I'll give you a reason. I could give you a reason if you just pick a person. I can go into detail about why they should be in prison.
I
If-
know.
if you want to.
They're going to do investigations. But what about policy, David? What about policy? They will do the investigation. I think you're right about that. What else are they going to do? What is their thing? What is their big thing?
What is their
No,
like wow moment policy?
Yeah.
No, policy like
Democrats-
change.
Democrats
Because
are
if
running on-
Democrats are doing this, Democrats are doing that. What are they going to do?
Yes. Because Democrats are running on. They're racist. They're Russian apologists. They're
Their wow
criminal
moment
insurrectionists.
policy is
What are
going
the
to be
Republicans running on?
crime. They're going to knock down all this carjacking and all the
build more prisons.
No.
Is that why Biden wants to? Maybe so.
Well,
Maybe
no,
that's why
no,
Biden wants to-
it's not like it's going to build more prisons. It's just if you prevent it from happening and the people don't do the crime, then they don't go to prison. They,
It's not always like that.
like
though.
where I live, people feel like they can just get away with the carjackings and stuff all the time. And I mean, I don't know if you've seen it where like last week somebody put a flashbang in their truck because they know the police aren't gonna do anything to people. So the people have started like taking their matters into their own hand and protecting their own property around where I live at, and setting off flashbangs and stuff.
What's the reason why the police wouldn't do anything?
That
How did they get that message?
where I live, they're understaffed and they don't. Well, they had the staff at one time, but the higher ups don't allow the police to do their
Joe
job.
Biden just invested a shitload more money into cops.
The DA,
Yeah, but he also did those mandates though, and that fired a lot of cops that didn't want to do those vaccines.
DA where I live lets everybody go. Like
Maybe that's why they're
Yeah,
understaffed.
you're right.
The DA where I live let repeats offenders, and it's the repeat offenders that are committing the crimes that you notice where like people are getting killed and stuff. If you read all the stories, it said like dude was just released from jail a month ago, and then this month he's taken out people's families.
So, guys, it all comes back to like really the fact that we're income inequality and people are poor, and they go back.
Hold on, let me
whenever
hit
they-
David
I just wanna make
with
this
one
point.
number.
Let me make this
hit
point because
David
I went
with
to
one
jail.
number. We are the
Classism.
most
I just want to make a
jailed
point. Okay.
country in the world. 5% of our population is in prison.
I know.
We have more laws than any other country in the world. We got more people in prison than China and Russia.
They're all in Angola, right around the corner from me.
But that like we are throwing people in prison left and fucking right. And
It's
we throw
called
them in the system, and then
classism.
when they come out, from like a stupid ass crime, they're already hardened and
Like
pissed
possession
off,
of weed.
and then they're gonna do more shit. We have to do something besides that. We have to help them instead of
let's
making
talk
more
about
laws. I think we
let's
need
talk about
social
solutions.
programs. Is what I
Okay,
think.
so
I
obviously,
agree.
guys, obviously, the left wants social programs, the right wants law and order. So
No.
what's the common good, guys? Let me just like so. What about the programs or the people that or the things that can help stop recidivism? Because recidivism is because of something, right? Like you are addicted to drugs because you think the drugs help, right? And your mind says that. There's a reason everything is the way it is.
Everybody has
So
to be
why is there
medicated one way or
recidivism?
another.
Why is there recidivism? Because they can't get a job because they're felons. Maybe people need I
Because
don't
life
know.
sucks.
So, besides programs, yeah, but besides, I
They
get
definitely
you
need
went
programs for prisoners that get out of jail. They need
right.
with jobs
Of course, you and
instead
I
of
do
with
because we're
jobs and stuff
left.
like that.
The right believes in personal
Yeah.
responsibility. So how would you handle this then? Because I know you want a
Huh?
solution, but you don't want a left
How
wing
would I
solution.
handle it? I would treat them
Yeah.
at the moment. I guess treat them like an illegal immigrant. I'd give them a cell phone. I'd give them money. I like they said
You're not being
illegal
serious,
immigrants.
bro.
Yeah,
You're not
man.
being serious right now.
Illegal
We're from
immigrants.
You just
Texas.
got
They
into
don't
the
get that
Democrats.
shit, bro.
They
I
get
live
all
like
kind
a
of money.
shit
They
little
get
So
immigrants
let
around
me just
here.
tell you,
they
David, you
get
need
a
to come up
place
with a
to live.
solution. If you don't believe in social programs, David, you need to come up with another
I do
solution.
believe in
Because we
social
need you.
programs.
Well, you just said you didn't. You
Who
just
said
said you are
I
tired of
didn't believe in?
immigrants.
I didn't say
Because
I.
you implied that
I
with
didn't
immigrants.
say that. You asked how I would treat them. I think immigrants are treated good.
How
But
would a
they're
right winger
not.
stop
Yeah,
recidivism?
they're really not though.
If they go,
I need to ask the
I'm
most
not
specific
talking
question
about the
ever.
immigrants who like don't go through the system. The ones who go through the system and sign up and try and do
I
it
know
right,
that. I'm not
they
saying
get
that.
great
They're not
benefits.
either.
My nigga, I'm
Okay,
talking
hey,
about the
David,
fucking people
David,
that income inequality has affected. I'm talking about the felons that have a record, they can't get a job. How would
See,
the right wing stop recidivism? I'm
how
sorry to
does a
yell, but I
felon
just need
get
to
a
make my
job?
point.
yeah, I'd like to
Yes,
hear it.
You expunge their record.
yes. Okay.
Good
So
answer.
you would do that
Yeah,
because why?
Huh?
You
he's
would
being
not.
sarcastic.
Would you?
No, I'm
Would you have him not
not.
be a felon
I'm
for
not being sarcastic.
Guys, I will literally take you off the stream because I want this question
It
and
matters
I
what
want David
you're
to answer
talking
it.
about.
I don't want him to
You're not
not be
talking about a
serious.
violent felon. You're talking about like a felon for
No,
like
I'm talking about a felon that wants to stop going
somebody
back to
who
jail.
got caught with like
And
60
wants to stop
pounds
going
of
back to jail.
weed.
No, I'm not talking. Don't put a preconceived notion in your
I'm
mind.
talking about
I'm
like
talking
a
about a
felon. I'm
felon
talking
that wants
about
to change his life. Because in America we have the American
Okay,
dream.
David, let's talk about the dude
I
who
had to
threw
understand the
a
question.
kid. Let's say
Todd, I'm taking you off my
Let
stream
me
because I
talk.
want the answer to this question.
All right.
Basically,
So
so
Tommy,
I
let me
need the right
talk,
wing.
please.
I need the right wing answer.
Tommy, give me.
I
All
really do.
right. So if it's a non-violent criminal, let their record be expunged. Now, a violent criminal, well, they'd probably still be in jail.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be having this conversation. So let's talk about a non-violent criminal. Well, then, yeah, there should be a path to expungement.
That's
And
I think so too. Wow, that we just came to a common good right there.
that is
That's
great.
true. I like that. I like that a lot.
there should, and if you can get your record expunged, then the only way that your record would come back to against you is if you created another felony, and then both of your records would be used against you because they'd be able to pull it up in the national system or whatever. You know, your record would probably if they needed to use it against you, they could use it against you in the court of law. But to get a job, it wouldn't come up in the database because it would be no record on file would show up under your name when they looked you up.
That would be a very specific thing. Actually.
That's a good idea.
I think a lot. So what? Hey, but David, would you be opposed to like social programs to help people get an ID and learn job?
We already have
skills. I know, but are you opposed to that or not? Because I don't know.
No, I love that shit.
Okay, cool.
It's the simple way.
That's great.
Cool.
You know?
It is a simple way.
Yeah, I'm the
So
one. I'm the one who told you
all-
that. Remember how I told you about how they exploit people, how they used to take advantage of the people for voting, and poor people already have IDs because that's how they get their social programs.
They do. Black people can open laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saying poor people can't vote. That's bullshit because they already got IDs. That's how you get your social programs.
So, hey,
Yeah,
guys,
but they do make it hard for them to get to the voting booths. They make it. They make a lot. They make it hard.
all right, Todd. Come back here. I'm sorry, I just did that to my father, but like literally, I had to get that answer.
No,
So
but they
basically,
have those
we just
programs
came to an
though,
agreement.
because I've got quite a few friends with felonies, and they got them when they were younger, and they got them expunged. But is the issue is not that, it's that the truth is most Republicans would rather spend $28,000 a year to keep a person in prison than give them $13,000 a year in social programs to help them
That's a good
out,
argument,
further
David.
themselves.
Because, like, yeah, while we just came up with a solution, these guys are paid by prison, so that's the delay.
There's
there any way we
money
could get-
everywhere that they
Yeah.
could use for these programs. They just don't want the programs.
Well, I mean, literally, what about the ones they promised in the first place? That's what I was talking about with
Lip
Medicare for all.
service.
And Joe Biden promised
Mhm.
expansion of Obamacare. He hasn't delivered. Like, guys, they're not even like they're not trying to even pretend to deliver anymore.
No, they
Fuck
just want our
Obamacare.
votes.
Fuck the expansions. Fuck whatever I said in the fucking campaign. Fuck my build. Fuck my own build back better agenda.
Huh.
Fuck it all.
They just want your vote. That's it. They're gonna say what they think you want to hear, and then
Exactly,
fuck you
Stephanie,
over.
and that's why you need to say fuck Democrats.
Agree.
I'm registered as an independent, so.
And David, that's why you need to say fuck Republicans because Lindsey
Yes,
Graham
David.
just
It's
wants.
okay to say fuck both parties. It
He
is
has a few
All
times. He's talking about
parties.
Republicans not have a spine. David knows what's up, bro. But I don't know why. Like, I guess they're part of our culture.
I
That's
wish
what
we
it
didn't
is.
have parties.
Yeah, me neither. Well, they've ruined everything. They really have.
I
And
know,
Joe
I
Biden
know.
is. So, guys, to just move on this conversation, I want to
Right.
know what the Democrats are going to do because Joe Biden is. He has less approval than Herbert Hoover,
I
who
know, it
established the
was
FBI and
33%.
caused the Great Depression. Yeah,
30.
it's the worst. It really is the
I
worst.
think Kamal's
guys,
even
but
below him.
no joke.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's not president, right?
Yes, but he is. So, and he'll be replaced by the Democrats because Democrats don't give a shit about
But
anybody.
let's be honest, Biden's not going to be able to finish the next, 2.5 years? I mean, did you
You
guys
think
see the
he'll-
last video? He was
He just told
literally
Obama. He told
trying to
Obama he's
shake
going to
a
run again.
dude's hand that wasn't there. It is getting so bad that it's
It
just
is.
incredible.
He told Obama he's going to run again, though. So, but Joe's a liar. Joe's a liar. I believe. I agree.
Of course.
David, who are they going to replace? The Democrats. They wanted Kamala Harris. Maybe they'll just let Kamala Harris do it.
But that
Even
would
though-
be disastrous because you would have a president who couldn't even make it through the first round of the
Yeah.
primary, Democratic
But like
primaries.
literally, what's worse than Joe Biden?
But,
when you've met Joe
Trump is
Biden,
going to win
Kamala
the
really
next election, and there's nothing that could really stop, because you guys are explaining the case of why Trump is going to win the next election right now, because
Really?
Kamala Harris and Biden, and there's no one that can
They're desperate to
run
dump
against
Biden.
him.
They got the mainstream media literally bashing him too now. They don't give a shit about him being a Democrat. They
I
hid
know.
all of his laptop shit. They don't give a shit anymore. Say
Nope.
whatever you want about Hunter Biden. Have you noticed that, guys? They're literally talking about it now.
Yeah.
They
Who's gonna
literally
be,
dropped him.
Trump's VP?
They've dropped him.
I mean, they're literally treating him like Trump
dropped him,
thought that people were treating him.
I want
Like
to
a fucking
Well, they
wounded
got
animal.
to.
I
Shit.
got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Who's going to be Trump's VP?
Ooh, I hope
Probably
it's
some
Gabbard.
fucking racist.
Lindsey Graham.
I hope it's Tulsi Gabbard,
I don't know. I hope it is too, but like it's Trump really.
because that would get a wide
those
demographic
things.
and be a for sure win.
Yeah.
Did you
Tulsi
talk to him, Chris?
Gabbard has
That's what I-
Did you talk to him,
done a
Chris?
180. She has turned so right wing.
How so?
Just a little, and I was kind of thinking that too with the few of the things he
Everybody's
was
turned
saying.
right. Everybody's turned to the right since the COVID pandemic. Let's just admit
But
it, guys.
she
They
started
hate
spitting the
Democrats.
facts like against this Ukraine war. She's with me
Mhm.
on this, and you need to watch the Kyle Kalinske show and the Rising Star. What's her name?
No, I
Kim
don't.
Iverson. And then because
Stephanie.
they're like non-biased, straight facts, left-wing
What's the-
people. So when
what's
the
the-
left-wingers do wrong, they call it out. They don't care. They're just like, I'm not owned by anything. I'll say what I want because I have my own show. Not like the Young Turks. They sold out, so they're
But
not allowed to say certain things
like
anymore.
what she said about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay.
He was just a kid. So she like dismissed it like, oh, boo boo, you know, slap on the wrist.
There's a lot of weird things about Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, why was he there? What
And
the fuck was a
then
riot going on?
now
There's a
her
child
and
molester there.
her don't say
Weird.
gay. How now she's actually, you know, endorsing
She what?
that.
She is. They made a good argument, Stephanie. You got to admit that they did. K through 3. Let's just talk about the argument, not about the
Yeah,
don't say gay. That's
right.
propaganda from the Democrats.
Gay,
Now the
gay.
bill, the
Gay,
bill,
gay.
the bill is about not sexualizing children. So like that. What about that?
It just
is
shouldn't even be a bill. I mean, I don't get
Hey, you're
it.
right. You're right because they're but what is
It's
Tulsi Gabbard?
people's personal
That's what I'm trying to get.
lives.
Why does Tulsi Gabbard a bigot? Because these guys decided to be propagandists, and she came outside of not sexualizing children. Like, why is Tulsi Gabbard always taking bullets like this? It's always like this. She
Because
was standing up
she's
for her principles because of the
starts
propaganda.
spouting out right-wing nut job.
Because she
What
called out
points?
the Democrats. That's why she called out the
I need to
Democrats
know
on their bullshit. So
what did
that's
she
why they
say?
hate her now. Because she didn't want to fall in line with them.
Savvy, what did she
Right.
say? What did she say that offended you? She said something that offended you.
Well, I just
So,
told
what'd she say?
you a couple already.
Okay.
And then there was the one where she was defending the Haitians, the cowboys that were trying to corral them like horses.
That was weird.
She
I took her
defended
to task
that.
on that. Everybody
Yeah.
did. It was weird. It's not it's reins, not whips.
She's
Like, it makes a difference, guys.
She
Sometimes people are fucking weird.
right. She
Guys,
you
y'all
know,
remember we were slaves? Y'all remember we were slaves? Now you're talking about whips, not reins?
exactly.
It was fucking weird how people fucking jivel over that. That's
Mhm.
fucking gross. That's another reason why I would have never voted for your Republicans. Because David, your Republicans have no problem just saying, "Oh yeah, it wasn't whips at least." Like whipping black people with anything is a fine idea. Just not whips.
Yeah, especially with having
You're the
just
worst at that
food
shit.
in their hands.
Democrats, they mistakenly tell the truth about what they really think because they don't give a shit. Oh, thank you for your sacrifice, George Floyd. And they're worse too. There's bad too, but
Nah,
We
man.
love you.
You always
about that
hear
shit?
me. You always hear me say the coolest stuff.
You're not a Republican, bro. I'm talking about Republicans. Republicans are in office. They're the ones that are ruining our
The
country.
scary
You're not ruining our
ones,
country.
the
You're my
nut
friend.
job ones
Well,
are
right
in
now it's the
office.
Democrats that are running the country, but once the Republicans take over, it'll be them. But right now,
Yeah,
it's the
but
Democrats.
these are fundamentalists. These are conservative, right-wing nut jobs, like severe radical nut jobs.
Okay,
It's
what if I were to tell
terrifying.
you that Joe Biden was a Dixiecrat and he voted against the civil rights
Oh
movement?
yeah, Joe Biden's the right. Stephanie knows Joe
And
Biden's the right winger too.
he used
Why
the
don't?
N
Hey,
word
David.
on the
Why
floor
doesn't?
a couple times,
Sorry, Dad.
and he was like basically an ultimate scumbag, old school scumbag.
I already believe he's a scumbag. What?
So, David, well,
How
how
is
come
this
the right wing
relevant?
doesn't? How come the right wing doesn't like Joe Biden? That just got me thinking of a question because he's like right wing. He
good
wrote a
one.
crime bill. He
Right?
literally
The crime bill? He helped
he's a
write the crime
Dixiecrat.
bill? He is a right
How come you
winger.
how come you don't like Joe Biden? Just because he went and erased Trump's policies. That's why, right?
I don't.
They told him to. It's
think-
not his fault. His masters told him to.
I don't know.
Uh,
Let David
Well,
answer.
that's a good question. That's a good
They
question.
literally paid a lot of money to literally install that guy. You're right, like a toilet. But he had to. No matter what he believes, he literally he believed in fucking canceling student debt. He's not controlling anything. He's doing what his fucking masters want. So he had to go in and and now he's going back to Trump's policies, right? Oh my god, they made me fucking undo him, and now I'm unpopular, and I have to fucking do him again. Dude, that guy was. That makes me feel bad for Joe Biden. He's a douchebag racist, plagiarist, but he literally was installed just to undo shit, take the Trump smell out of the room. And literally, like he did, and he's now the worst fucking guy. Have
Oh
y'all noticed
Lord,
that?
he
It's
inherited
literally
a shit
hilarious.
show.
I mean, Trump did a lot of good things, the
I
progressive ones.
think
Enhanced
Trump.
unemployment,
I think the right.
no wars. I don't understand this. He tripled the deficit,
I
like they
have
all do.
answer.
But we had no wars.
What were you
I'm
saying,
just gonna
David?
say it,
You're
man. I
mumbling.
think I want Trump
Joe
more
Biden
than
would never
Biden.
have given us
I
anything.
got an answer.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. I asked you a question. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Yeah. With the right wing in office, we had more coin, we had more money in our pocket. So when people have more money in their
I
pocket, they
didn't.
do less robbing. They do less. It's not that you need to have more. The answer to crime isn't actually more police. It might just be putting more money in people's pocket.
That's
Agreed.
Sure.
true.
I mean, that's because
Jobs.
poverty
Agreed, bro.
breeds
Agreed.
crime.
Another one.
No more
Yes.
But
police.
okay,
Money
another
in people's
perfect
pockets.
example, like Chicago, right? We all are aware Chicago is a like problem type city, right?
It's
As
another
as
thing we have
as
in
Trump says
common.
with Chicago, it's the inner city that is a problem, right? So when they get money, you know where they put it? They put it to the
In their
nice parts of the
nose,
city.
in their veins.
They don't put it to the problem parts of the city. So how do you expect to fix that problem? They're like, okay, let's throw some money at it. But they're like, who takes the money?
He's not. But he's saying that David's saying that we get the money, so we're happier. We
Yeah.
don't have to commit crimes to get money. I
You
think
have
that
to
is a
give
good
it to the
solution.
poverty neighborhoods.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
Yes, you should
Yes,
invest
you
in
don't.
all neighborhoods, especially needy neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But
We
that's the
have
problem, though.
That will
It
improve
never
the
works that way.
economy. I know it
It
doesn't.
doesn't.
It doesn't
Because we
work
don't
that
hold our
way.
politicians accountable. See how it comes back to all that?
No.
Yep.
Just like the
Yes, it
what they
does.
call the checks.
I've
You know, the
tried
But you
to
checks
fucking
also
went
do
in
need
the
to
any of
get
it.
more
majority of
people
the
involved
stimulus
in
shit.
local politics.
Yeah.
You
So
also
I
need to
mean,
get people more involved in local politics because right now on Facebook and all social media, you have people focused on, like the presidential election and stuff like that. When we have local primaries
Hey,
coming up,
can I ask you guys like a real hypothetical, like philosophy type question?
go for it.
Okay,
shoot.
listen to this. You make it, right? You do some AOC shit. Like you organize. You start running on we need to do the right thing, we need universal health care, we need blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden the people start rallying around you. So you make it. Then they basically explain the game to you. Do you want to go further in your career here, or do you want it to end? And then they'll say we end you, but if you can't because your fame gets too much with the people, then they say we're going to end you in another way. Then if we can't end you through your reputation, what do you do? Would you take the money, or would you keep your integrity and stay with it, knowing that these people could, like, if they can't discredit you and make you seem like a true piece of shit, then they'll kill you.
I'm lost.
Yeah, it's over my head.
It's a question of like all these politicians are just this way. If you get that far, you've been approached. If you get this far, you've already been approached and are corrupt. And AOC even cried about it multiple times, saying, you don't understand it. You don't get it. You're going to be approached in your office. You try to do the right thing, and then they come to you and they say, you better fucking do this or else. And then they say, but if you don't, if you play with us, you will
That's
be
a little
basically.
dramatic.
No, but this is the way the world is. In all honesty, good people do not want power. Good people do not want it. And the real question is, how many people can stand up against that? How many people can stand up against that?
Also, let me take that question, and I will tell you. This is the question, guys, that we all have to answer.
I don't want none of
This is
that.
the question why we go to church. This is the question why we have morality, and this is the question why we have principles and values. We don't really, none of us really know what we'll do until that moment happens. But
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
No,
I don't.
I have a lot of integrity. What I would do is I would kind of like say, okay, my bad. I have a family. Let me bow down and get out. In all
you have a
honesty,
family.
I would.
So that's
I
your
wouldn't
choice.
want to. I'd go in there and say, I just couldn't do it. I'd be like, let me
Are we
get out.
judging people that any way they're making a decision? This is hypothetical. So, I mean, no decision's wrong, really. It's
But
really
if you
what
make it that
think.
far, let's be honest. That's what's going to happen. You don't get that far without.
Martin Luther King said no. He was
Yeah,
died.
look what happened to him.
So you're right.
Exactly.
What happened? Yeah,
Malcolm
exactly.
X, Tupac.
But
I mean, people that you cannot change because they're going to think
okay.
the way they are. They're going to get you. JFK.
My point is just that there are people out there that will say no. That's my point.
Yeah, but none of them are in office.
I'm confused.
That's true.
And that is the problem. There is the problem.
Well, what I would say is that like Trump needs to come and talk to us if he's going to run again, David, and he needs to know these things. If you're really serious, Trump, about draining the swamp, then you need to fucking clean house. You need to dissolve the FBI. You need to fire everyone in the CIA.
Wait,
and you
are
need
we
to
talking
start
about
over.
Trump? The dude
I'm
that's only worried about
sorry,
money?
y'all. If he comes back, he's going to take over and become a dictator, and he will become a brutal
Okay, so
dictator,
how do we get there?
authoritarian.
Stephanie? How do we get there? When did he do that? What
It's
happened?
it's
How do we
he
get there?
already acted that way. We saw how he acted while he was president,
How do you act?
like superior, like
Like a douchebag narcissist?
Yeah,
of
I agree. He
course.
likes sucking
Now,
his
how does
own
that
dick,
lead to?
but he doesn't have the power to do
How does
that.
that lead to fascism, though? There's a lot of fucking douchebags. You know, they're still not going to fucking be fascists, right?
Well, he is a nationalist fascist, but I mean,
He
The
really
dude was so
is.
busy. The dude was so busy looking at his mirror and his golden toilets. He didn't see Joe Biden and his little cronies.
He literally fucking quotes brutal
Guys,
dictators.
real talk. The reason why he lost is because he literally revoked clearances of the CIA, and then he just walked off like nobody was gonna punch him in the back. David, why is he
I
like
think
that? He's got to know
I think that
the
election
punches that
was
are coming
rigged.
if he's gonna
I
do
got to
this.
agree with the right on that.
We need a leader to answer your question, Todd. We need a leader that's going to know that if you attack the bear's going to fight back. So you got to be ready for that. That's what I told you about the people that we won't mention their names. I'll mention their names once I have the resources and I have a plan. Other than that,
I have an answer.
yes, please go ahead. If Trump's not going to do that, he might as well stay at home.
I feel like, man, Trump's been. If you just ignore
the racist shit,
tweets and Twitter, and you just go to the gas station and pay $1.43 gas or whatever instead of what we're paying now, and
look at how it was.
Damn it, David! The freaking president does not dictate gas prices. It doesn't work that way.
Let
They
him,
did it with
let him
Obama. They
finish.
did it with
Hey
Bush.
Todd,
I know,
let him finish.
I know
Let him
how
finish.
I know how gas futures dictate gas prices of today. I understand.
Yeah, go ahead with your
I'm
answer.
just talking the whole policy, all the things with the policies but that's a whole nother thing. All right.
But
What's the
David,
question?
do you agree that Biden has dementia and
What were
Alzheimer's and
you
everything all combined, right? And he's like a shell of a man.
What was your answer, David? Like, what? Just summarize that.
Yeah, I would have liked to have heard his full answer from earlier.
Yeah, how's Trump gonna not repeat the same mistakes like he did? Because he revoked clearances and then they went and did all that shit.
If you just avoid, like
so avoid
the
is
little little tweets or whatever that, and his policies are really cool.
Okay, so but what about the people that want him dead and want him sued?
So you're basically saying ignore his
okay.
behavior,
Wait,
but his policies are good.
Oh, the people that want him,
Yeah, he is
that
saying
want him
that stuff.
sued,
Yeah.
that want him sued. Well, he's been over the past 6 years.
He's been sued for a lot.
He's been sued for
because he hasn't had a plan.
and
So that's why he's being sued.
He's been
being attacked a lot.
He's been in and out of every court that
right.
and
How is he gonna
not one court has been able
I don't care.
to
He never
How
went
is
to
our
any of those
president?
courtrooms when he was president.
David,
it was other
you're selling me.
investigations.
Hey guys,
David, guys, let me talk for a second. David, you're telling me that this president's going to make things better. The only way he could make things better for me is if he literally was the president and our leader. So how is he going to literally do that when we have all these people do that? You're trying to defend Trump.
Hold on. Let me speak for David on Trump. Okay, anybody would be better than Biden right now. I will take Trump, and
I
Trump
don't
did a
give a
better
shit
job than
about
Biden.
Biden.
Trump did a better job than Biden did, and you guys got to admit that. You guys got to admit that, man.
Hey guys, chill, dudes.
Yeah, I'm about to take. Stephanie, I don't care. Stephanie, have you noticed how every time I ask a question about how these guys are going to do something, they automatically think that I'm like insulting them because they're used to it, right? But literally, I'm just telling them how is Trump going to literally gonna because he wants to drain the swamp. How is he going to do that? Well, Biden's got more votes than Biden. I don't give a shit about that. How is he going to do that? That's what I'm asking. So I had to talk to Stephanie for a second.
I think
I had to make
let's play a game real quick.
Let's
Right.
say
Well, we
something
haven't let
nice.
David finish his
Let's say
sentence
something nice
through this
about
whole
the
thing.
other
We're gonna,
president
we're
that
gonna
we
let
do not
we're gonna
like.
let David finish his answer because he had an answer to that, and then we have got 10 minutes on top of the hour, guys.
Because
So we've got to wrap this
he
up.
hasn't got to finish a full.
It's true, but you're right. We're used to that. But go ahead, David.
I know I keep forgetting.
You keep forgetting?
How Trump's gonna be. All right, so Trump's
His
gonna go in
behavior.
there and he's gonna do exactly the same thing what Biden did in his first days, and he's gonna, well, I guess we used to call him a dictator, and he's gonna have all these, what do they call, where he signs all these different things. What's that word? Come on, y'all
Executive
jump in
orders?
there. No. When a
Bill-
president,
billionaires and
no,
people that I
when a
hate
president
right
comes in
behind
there
him
and they
signing
sign
things.
all these things that they say is that, fuck, what's that?
Bills?
Not that.
Congress doesn't
Oh, I
send
know
bills.
what you're talking about. Where he overrides everybody. Like what Biden
Yeah,
should do with the student
Vetoes,
loan.
vetoes,
when he
vetoes.
came in and he changed all of,
Vetoes.
no, not that.
What's it called? That
Vetoes?
fucking presidential
Filibusters?
thing.
Oh,
You know, where he
Guys,
could
we're
bypass everyone
literally
to
a
work his right.
video show.
No, guys.
yeah.
Oh,
He came in there and
fucking.
they called Biden a dictator because he signed all.
I don't give a shit about what
I
they
know.
called him. What is he
I
gonna
can't.
do
I
to
got it.
fucking avoid his fucking fate?
Fuck, I know what he's talking. I know what you're talking about, though, David. I do.
What the fuck?
I just want to ask
But
the
what is
question
he going to
5
sign
times.
though? What
Never
is he
How
wins.
going to
do you know
bypass
what
them
David's
I
on?
asked the
talking
question
about?
5
Because
times. Never
we
wins.
can't let him finish.
I don't know. Well, we got to come up with this. We
I'll
got
ask
to
it
come up
6
with that
times.
shit.
How is Trump gonna fucking avoid the CIA getting the steel attacking him
Y'all don't know.
and
We got to
throwing
talk.
his ass out?
I'm trying to
How's he
tell
gonna do that?
y'all.
Please, because you keep saying you forgot.
I don't.
Waiting.
This. We all forgot what it is.
He's
He's going to come in
trying.
there and he's going to do this, and
I
we
need
come up
another
with these
fucking
words, and
Oh,
that's
get
what
that thing.
Trump's
Come on.
going to
I
do.
know what he's talking. Hold on, Tommy. You got to think
Let
about this.
him
I know what he's trying to say.
talk.
No, but help him think of this word because I can't think of it
Yeah.
either. Where you bypass Congress and the law, and what Biden could do to legalize weed. What does he have to do?
Yeah.
What does he sign? What is it called?
A document.
No.
Or
Come
to
on,
get rid of
man, we got to be the dumb.
what
All
is
of
it
us
called?
are-
Deschedule,
A presidential
filibuster,
fucking
Yeah.
reconciliation.
Declaration.
no, it's a presidential something. They got pissed
Guys,
about
y'all
Obama
have
doing
Google or what? Y'all have Google?
for the immigrants. You know what he did with
Yeah.
them? A presidential fucking. I know exactly what you're talking about, David.
Okay, well, we know what he's talking about, so we can go on.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
go
gotta.
on.
I can't move on until I figure this out.
David, you guys suck ass right now. I just want to let y'all know.
Well, that's where I'm gonna end it at. And once we
Okay,
figure
I'll
this
ask
out,
7 times. What is Trump gonna do to avoid the
this
fucking
is what he's gonna
CIA?
do, man.
I know it's in my fucking head too, David.
I answered the question.
Head,
What
dude.
you gonna do?
Okay, so he's gonna do the same thing, and he's gonna get his ass kicked again. Then they'll probably find his tax returns. Let me just tell you this, David. It's gonna be funny if Trump runs again, because if he's the same stupid guy that fucking goes on a call with Brett Raffensperger and just be as stupid, and he doesn't realize Hillary Clinton's a fucking psycho bugging his fucking phone. If he just goes la 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 la, I'm done. I don't know how to fucking run for president.
Executive order.
I'm a fucking moron.
Executive order. That's it.
Executive order.
If he does that shit,
That's it.
then let me tell you something.
Thank you, David.
Not only is he not going to be
Yeah.
impeached twice, he will
Can we get back to
literally
the answer? Can I get
go
back
out
to
to
the
prison.
answer?
Hold on, let him
Trump
finish.
better
Let him
be
finish.
ready. Trump
Yeah.
better be ready to make sure that if he comes back,
So-
he better fucking have a ground game. He
I
better
got
win.
this,
He better
man.
have a
I
fucking
got the
strategy,
answer.
because the next time he comes
I
back,
went to
they are
Google.
not going to fuck with this guy. They will literally have the goods.
All
So
right.
you better make sure,
Tommy.
if you want Trump to come back,
Oops. It's cool. I
I'm
smoke
just trying to
weed
make
while
these guys
you
more
talk.
serious. You guys are not being serious right now. You're pissing me off. You guys are really pissing me off right now.
I'm gonna give you the answer.
Because I'm talking about our country. I go on the show, guys, and I talk about our country. I don't give a shit about what they say. I don't give a shit about what they say.
This
I'm
is
talking
really
about if Trump-
important, guys.
If Trump, this is important because I'm yelling and I'm pissed. If you believe in this guy, he's got to promote the general welfare. He's got to secure the blessings of liberty. He's got to live up to his oath. How is he going to do that? Don't talk to me like I'm a partisan. Talk to me like I'm your countryman. How is our president going to restore our government?
With executive orders, he's gonna turn all the stuff that Biden switched around on him and put it back to the way how he had it before Biden took office.
But what specifically?
Shit, I've had a hard enough time looking up at the word executive order. Now you want me to go back and tell you all of Trump's policies that
He
were
basically, he essentially didn't change anything. He kept the
energy.
kids in the cages. He's
All right,
deported
guys, I'm
more
gonna end the show
immigrants.
'cause
We're
I like literally,
trying to
I'm
talk about
depressed. I'm
Trump.
depressed.
All right.
I'm really
Trump,
depressed now. I'm
not
actually
Biden.
depressed now.
Trump.
Okay, in all honesty, who did a better job, Trump or Biden?
I don't fucking care. How are we gonna get our country back, guys? Fuck this, guys. Why can't we talk about that?
We
Why can't we
need
talk
to
about how we're gonna get our country back?
Stephanie,
start
Tommy,
voting locally.
who
Start
did
voting
a
locally.
better job, Biden
I don't care.
or Trump?
I
I'm
don't
ending the show.
care.
I don't care. I don't care either. Fuck it. Who did a better job? I don't care. Ask the voters of American Idol.
How we need to save, how we
I don't
will
understand.
save our country is we need to get out to our own communities locally and start
good point.
voting for everything from dog catcher to senator, and
Okay.
show up, campaign for the person we think is best suited for that job. It has to start local. It has to start local.
Maybe if we have relationships with our local leaders, that they can
Mm-hmm.
they have the
Sound
power to
like
pressure these guys.
Buttigieg
And they
right
trickle
now.
up there.
Like I was that guy. He's going to be the next president after Trump, by the way.
I think that I just
Mark
want my
my
country
words.
back, and I want us to fucking come up with solutions. So basically, what I hope, David, for Trump is I hope he learned something from all this.
Tell me
If he chooses to be our
Tell
president.
me one
And
good
I
thing you
also,
liked about Trump and what he did.
I can tell you 5.
All
I'll tell you
right.
5 off
All
the
right.
bat.
That's even better.
The first one, he revoked the clearances of John Brennan, the ex-CIA director that tortured people during the war in Iraq and lied about the weapons of mass destruction. He revoked the clearances of Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, the FBI agents that were trying to meddle in the election. We're going to stop this, right? He literally did that, and then he started revoking more clearances of CIA, FBI agents that did enhanced interrogation programs, and were the ones responsible. They were the ones making the laws in Syria and Afghanistan. They were operating rogue without the permission of the president. They didn't even ask him for permission. They had FISA courts. They are traitors to the country. And Trump literally revoked their clearances and made me feel like there was actually justice. The second thing he did was the First Step Act. The First Step Act did mandatory minimum sentences. They did away with mandatory sentences. Joe Biden literally caused mandatory minimum sentences. It was amazing how he did that. There needs to be a Second Step Act. There needs to be a Third Step Act. The third thing he did was enhance unemployment for people during a COVID pandemic. I literally got paid a minimum wage while I was waiting for my job to reopen, and I was living great. I didn't have to worry. And when Trump literally was, they were going to drain it out because Nancy Pelosi was trying to haggle with him. He got on Twitter, asked for a stimulus. That's why he got in. Yeah, that's what her excuse was. She doesn't give a shit about kids.
So right now he's already beating Biden hard.
But that was her excuse. But it was funny. Like, and he vetoed. Fourth thing, he vetoed the military spending bill, bro. Remember that shit? They were all just like Bernie Sanders was with him. He was like, "Yeah, Trump, let's fucking get $2,000 checks, motherfucker."
But he still fucking wanted to ban gays from the military.
I'm just saying, like, he literally. I know you're right, Stephanie. You're right, but Trump has literally done more progressive things than fucking Biden. Right?
I do have to agree with you on that.
Yes, I agree.
That's
with
crazy,
that.
right?
And that's
I
why
know,
I'm
but that's
saying
crazy,
that
right?
Trump was a better president than Biden.
But look what Biden was handed. He was handed a total shit show.
But wait, we just named the good things he did, and he tried to get rid of the NAFTA deal, which was very shitty and terrible. And he argued we need to renegotiate with the World Bank, which is the Rothschilds, which was very ballsy because they told him he needed to shut the fuck up, and he did.
Don't go there.
There was a couple things that I agree with Trump on, but with Biden, I can't mention really too much shit.
That's why I'm so upset. That's why I'm so upset, though, is that David wants him to come back. I'll ride with you, David. I'll ride and die with you if you can convince Trump to not be a fucking idiot and fucking ride his fucking horse all the way into the fucking war.
Or a misogynistic pig.
That's what happened. Yeah, exactly. If you can convince him to not being a fucking idiot,
I can give you.
I'm on, bro. I'm on board. I'm on board, bro.
I can give you cheesecake.
Or the mascot for like.
I need to talk to Trump. Trump, if you're out there,
predator.
if you listen to this video, come talk to me, bro.
You need to like.
I'll negotiate with you, bro.
Like
I do great deals.
And just.
No, I don't have to do that. I'm American, and I deserve life, liberty, and happiness. That's not negotiable. So if this guy's gonna be our president, he needs to fucking get with the program. So
He's going to be regardless of it, Tommy.
I
It's
honestly
gonna be.
don't see him being the president.
Okay,
I mean,
then the quick
I don't
question,
either.
who could beat
I'm just
Trump?
trying to send the message. I'm
Like
just trying to
who?
send the message.
I think Trump. I
When wants
think
to do it.
Trump's mess. I think his message is already ebbing off. His supporters are already ebbing off some. I think they're going to continue to decline.
No, it's ramping up, especially when the
there's
Twitter ban
nothing.
stopped.
But there's nothing he's doing for them. He can't help them in any way.
There's
At
nothing
this
any of these
point, it
politicians
is
are
a
doing for
cult of
any of us.
personality.
I agree with you though, Stephanie. There's DeSantis is the one that's doing things.
DeSantis.
So he might be the he might be the candidate.
Exactly. DeSantis is the
No matter
one
what you feel about what they're doing,
we should worry
he's doing things
about.
for them. So
DeSantis is definitely one we should worry about.
Governor DeSantis of Florida is the one actually doing things. He's doing the bidding of the right wing, and he actually believes in it. He's another principled guy.
Really bad.
Which is why it's funny because like I know Stephanie is like on the issues, but I respect principles, as you guys know. So it's just if you have a fucking principled stance, even if you are homophobic, I'm like, wow, well, you stand with your principles. It's these people that lie. I guess it's because I'm used to Democrats. They don't they lie about it. So when people are actually principled, I'm just like, whoa, you actually believe in that? Okay, cool. So that's probably why you want. Yeah, I don't know. So
You gotta believe in something.
yes, but that's the why it makes him dangerous. You're right, Stephanie. Is the fact that he believes in
So you mean
stuff like
integrity?
that, but he believes in it. Yeah, those people need to be stopped, bro. Tulsi Gabbard's a Russian asset, and that's why they hate. That's why they hate her too. You might think she's a bigot. It still stands.
People think I'm pro
That's what she believes.
Russia, and I'm like
You
for Russia.
sound your talking points. You talk Russia propaganda.
No,
Some
okay.
of it.
I'm sorry.
So
I do
people are
not
gonna
think
think
the
that
world
you're
is
pro
worth
Russia.
ending over Ukraine. And if you are looking at the facts, the Russian, as you call it, propaganda are facts because you can look it up. What they're saying actually happened. What
both
we're saying
sides are
is
showing
not
propaganda.
factual. That's the difference that you could say. Like what we're saying on the news cannot be proven and is not factual. What they are saying on the news is factual and can be
I
checked.
don't know what the news is. Is that the garbage that people enjoy?
Exactly. I look at
know what
live
that is.
streams and see if it's happening live. If I see
I
it
don't know.
happening, then
Who cares
I
about these
see it
live
with
things?
my eyes. I see it.
So, and you made a good point though, Stephanie. Like, this is all both propaganda. What we should really do is
both
we should
sides.
really just
We need to look
think about
past
this. Yeah, exactly.
Then why have
and
they
see
never
what's
mentioned the
going
Minsk
on
deal ever on
behind this
MSNBC or Fox?
distraction.
I agree. I don't all in line with this whole narrative. I want to know why. I want to know why we care because we don't care about.
I don't want the world to end,
people in
man.
Ukraine.
Because I don't want the fucking world to end. And I don't
Because
think
if
Ukraine
I want to
is
know
worth
why.
it.
I want to know why
to,
why they really care. They don't care about us. They
Let
don't care about
that buffer
Ukrainians.
happen.
Why do they really want to be fucking in Ukraine? What's up with that? Is there oil there? What is there that they want?
know.
Because they
I
want
know.
something.
That's a
telling
good
me.
question.
That's what we
That's what I'm saying. Russia
I
wants
have
it.
a,
Let's figure that
I
out.
have an answer.
For a reason.
I have an
It's
answer.
called Little
What
Russia.
is it, David?
He wants
Do
Little
you
Russia.
think
He wants
I'm
White Russia. He wants Russia, and he wants Belarus. Those
But
are
he never said that,
what he
though.
wants.
I have an answer.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Okay, David, go ahead. What's your answer?
All right. Ukraine is a bridge.
I've got the munchies.
Ukraine is a what?
Is a bridge.
Is a bridge to what?
All the other countries that are. I was like, do you think he's gonna stop at Ukraine?
So you think he's like Hitler?
You think he's
No,
gonna stop at Ukraine?
I think he
The
literally.
Middle East is the bridge.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, David. I don't know, but I do know that we literally started this with the expansion of NATO. So
Once
I don't
we-
know what he wants because I don't know Putin at all. He doesn't live here.
If he was able, I don't think he's gonna. I think Ukraine then stopped him. I don't think he's gonna be able to get past Ukraine. I don't think.
Think about this, guys. How could a little fucking country like Ukraine stop
For
the
real.
Russian Federation?
For
How is
real.
that happening?
For real.
Have you
For
thought
real.
about that, David?
Yeah, with
How is this
America,
happening that
with
they haven't taken Kyiv yet?
technology, weapons.
They should have already taken Kyiv weeks ago. They haven't. Why is that?
Because they keep trying to negotiate and just say, we want these Russian cities and leave them alone. And you can have the rest of what y'all want over there.
It's almost like they're having help.
Russia's
It's almost
been
like there's boots on the ground.
attacking. Russia's been attacking with
Like
convoys where
Cowboys with Rains,
No.
whipping Haitians.
convoys.
Convoys, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Cowboys got him with their pit bulls, man. They're going.
They got him with their interceptions, bro. They got him with their interceptions. The Cowboys.
They've been getting attacked by guerrilla warfare on someone on what's called foreign soil, not on their own.
What's your stance on
Oh,
Ukraine?
yeah.
Because I can't tell, Dave. I can't tell at all.
I think it's Nazis fighting Russians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
No,
how it was.
that's not
That's what it
true.
was during this. That's what it was during the Civil War, right? They
You
had
mean
a
World War
Civil War
II?
before this.
It's like
am I wrong?
it's like brothers
I wanna
fighting.
be right.
It's like they're fighting their cousins.
They were having
Exactly.
a Civil War.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they had Civil War.
Before this
It's
whole
like
thing.
Nazis fighting.
It was
Russians.
it was in process.
In all honesty, that is not worth us ending the world over.
Okay, so Russians fighting Nazis. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to think about. And Stephanie says they're not there. What do you mean by they're not there? Like they're not having? They didn't have the Civil War. I want to make sure that I know what you're talking about, Stephanie.
Pardon? I'm sorry, I lost my train of
Oh.
thought.
Yeah, you said they're not there because they were having a civil war in the Donbass before this whole thing happened.
I'm
with-
sorry. I
with
thought
Russia.
you were talking about something else. It was
Okay.
a mistake.
I know we keep bouncing on different options, but yeah. My main focus is what do these puppets of the rich want, and why do they want it? Because they're all lying to us. So let's guys
Money.
forget about who did a better job.
Yeah.
That's
Money,
why I have
power.
my show, right?
It's
I
money,
have my show
always
because
money.
I want to ignore their stupid shit. I just want to figure out why they're doing what they're doing. I want to bypass that.
One
So,
for my cheese puffs.
You have cheese puffs?
I mean,
We talk for like hours and hours, guys.
they say
I
Ukraine. They say Ukraine is like a corrupt country. Like if you want to do corruption and that kind of
If you
stuff.
want to do corruption, go to Las Vegas and go to Wall Street. I
America,
mean,
you got
literally.
lobbyists. You got enough money. You can
Go
get
to
whatever.
DC.
You want.
I mean,
Right.
this is why
but-
this is why these arguments go round and round. We're not holding who's responsible like to account. We're talking about
Exactly, and they'll never
who's-
be held.
The
We're
Vegas,
gonna just
They'll
completely
never be
ignore who's
held
doing it.
accountable.
the city of Vegas
I know.
is small time corruption
That's-
compared to the Ukraine.
Compared to the big corruption, which is the whataboutism propaganda technique. I know.
Yeah.
How about we just fucking tar and feather these guys? What do you think, guys? Let's just get over who's
Or publicly
what it is
flog
and just
them.
focus on the people that are really fucking doing it, which is the Democrats and Republicans. How about we just fucking forsake all of our stupid little defense mechanisms of who's attacking who and who is a Russian asset, and we go to the Capitol, we get some tar, we go to fucking O'Reilly's, we get some oil, we heat it up, we put some feathers in that shit, we fucking take it, we put it right into Nancy Pelosi's office because she's a bitch who almost fucking fucked up my enhanced unemployment, trying to play chicken with Trump. These guys don't give a shit about us. We have to tar and feather them all.
Every single one, Republicans and Democrats.
Child tax credit.
Yeah, that's
She
right.
literally used my unemployment to try to play with Trump politically. Y'all get that, right? She said, "Thank you for your sacrifice, George Floyd." These guys are literally using us as fucking leverage. Just so you know, we're slaves.
Was
So
that
that's who did a better job? I don't know. I'm a slave. I have no idea. But guys, let's talk about politics, and we'll have another round of this, guys. I think these two to actually talk about what I want them to talk about.
You
and
trying
not
to
who's
create
better.
an
Swear to
insurrection?
God, this is gonna be a part 2, guys.
That'll
David,
be
last
fun.
word?
Yeah, you're
Maybe
trying
by
to
then
create an
I'll find my
insurrection?
cheese
Hey,
puffs.
Stephanie, you know Indy. Where's he from?
Oh, no, nobody will say that. They're gonna cancel. But
I'm not exactly sure.
Bye everybody.
Yeah, I would
David,
like to have
any
him
last
on the
words?
show next time. I like
bye?
talking to him, man.
Well,
I like the way
yeah,
he
I just-
thinks. He
You want to say last
seems
words?
real
David?
knowledgeable, knows a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
say bye
stuff.
to everyone.
All right,
And
Later,
if I
David.
got
Later,
last
bro.
words, I'm gonna say
Later,
bye.
thank
Bye,
you for
Stephanie.
coming
on.
Bye,
Bye.
Tommy. Bye, Stephanie. Bye, Ty.
Later, bro.
Bye.
Where's he from?
Who?
Indy.
Oh, fuck me. I don't remember.
So
He told me, but I forgot.
could you bring
Y'all
him next
here?
time to the show? Yeah, we're here.